What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? As usual, hope doing well. Pardon me as I chew on a floss pick, as I tend to do after I use a floss pick. But what is going on, Rusty Corvine? What is going on, Tomifer? Hope doing well tonight, as usual. It is a Friday night, so we're doing our Friday stream. But it was a bit of a weird week. I had some stuff going on, so because of that, I couldn't really plan anything too big for this Friday. I know we've been doing lolcows the last couple of Fridays, and I considered doing that, but I don't want to do lolcows every Friday because then it almost becomes like a chill stream every Friday. It almost becomes like chill stream Friday, except it's going to be lolcow Friday, which I mean, don't get me wrong. That's an interesting topic. That's an interesting thing to do from time to time. But I would rather I'd rather not make that an everyday thing. I gotta put more thought and more effort and energy into it. But what is going on, Heath Holloway? What is going on, Nico? What is going on, Smart Moron? How we doing tonight? I'm doing all right, as best I can be doing. If you want to watch a lolcow, watch Bert's stream. Man, like it sucks because I want to like everybody who's involved in Fish Tank, even people that I have beef with or had beef with or I don't always 100% get along with. I want to get along with everybody in Fish Tank, and it's not that I wouldn't get along with Bert. It's just that he is the antithesis of a lot of things that I stand for. Um, and that makes it really hard to like watch anything from him where he's just constantly talking about penis and stuff like that. It's like, man, come on, Bert. I don't think you're a bad guy, but you gotta tone it down, man. And the thing is, he's kind of in a weird spot because like he's in that sweet spot where yeah, he's a lolcow, but he's not like a Christian. He's not like a he actually has some people who are like sort of fans of his, whether it's ironic or not. And I would assume they're giving him money. I would assume they give him money, right? He hasn't hit that stage of being a lolcow where like it's just torment. And at least my understanding of his situation. But I wish nothing but the best for Bird. I hope that he does well. I hope that he's doing well. Oh, excuse me. And I hope that whatever causes him to act the way that he does, he gets to the bottom of it. Football this Sunday. Is it week one of the NFL this Sunday? It is September now. It is September. I'm not really a big sports watching guy, but I went to a Sox game for the first time in years last week. Actually, a week ago today, I would have been at the Sox game right now, and it was a good time. It was a really good time, and now I'm looking into Pats tickets for me and the wife because as I may not be in New England next year, as I am considering moving out, I realize that one, I need to see Fenway and Gillette Stadium, and maybe even the Garden, the TD Garden, kid. I gotta see those at least one more time before I skedaddle. And then in addition to that, my wife has to see it. Um, I have to indoctrinate her into American sports. She didn't understand baseball, but I explained it to her as time went on as she was talking and stuff like that. And what's it called? She enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. Pathological Lifter says Gypsy Crusader fight when I'm a little bit fat. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little tubby. By a little tubby, I mean very tubby, but I am attempting to get back in shape. If Gypsy Crusader was ever in New England and for some reason he and I were in the same room and he wanted to fucking spar, it's like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I don't know how good he is. Apparently, he's won a championship belt, but here's the secret about championships that you guys may or may not understand. Anyone can be a fucking champion. You literally, Charlie Zelenov is a champion. What made him a champion was the fact that he created a boxing commission by himself, and then he made himself the champion of that commission. Now, is that commission recognized by a bunch of people? Well, not necessarily, but the thing is, if I mention the name Cage Titans to you, how many of you know what that is? Probably not many of you, if any of you know. If any of you know, you have no clue what Cage Titans is. There's tons of dudes that I know of and even dudes that I know personally who have been champions of Cage Titans, and you're not going to look at them and be like, "Whoa, dude, that's crazy." It's really, it's one of those situations where any regional promotion is going to have a champion, and they're going to want to fill those championship roles. They're going to want to fill those holes whenever they can. So every now and again, you'll see dudes who are not exactly what you would call champion caliber fighting for them. Um, it's that's just kind of the reality of like that situation. So I'm saying that because I really don't know how good he is. He could be really good. You know, I don't know, but it would be interesting. And in fact, you know what? Let's see if we can find something of his. That's a good road to go down. That's a good road to go down. Now that you mentioned that, Mister Lifter here, Mister Lifter, pathological lifter, Gypsy Crusader fight. I remember when that dude went. I remember when that dude went to jail. You know. That's just crazy. But geez, it's been 4 years since that. Man, that's wild. Um, I'm not seeing. Does anyone have any Gypsy Crusader fights? Does anyone have any of those? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. It'd be cool to see what he's got. It'd be cool to see what he's got. Um. Oh, wait a second. I found a short. I found a short. Wait a second. Oh no, that's. Oh, oh no, this is some weird hype video. I figured we were gonna get like at least like a quick snippet of Gypsy Crusader fighting, not just. Oh wait, uh, is that Gypsy Crusader? I don't know if either of those guys was Gypsy Crusader. On the bottom specifically, these guys, like I don't think that's Andrew Tate. You know, is that supposed to be Gypsy Crusader? It looks like him a little bit, but not completely. I'm not sure. I have no clue. But yeah, I mean, racism, race. Oh man, that's crazy. But if anybody has any Gypsy Crusader fights, we can definitely check them out because I'd be interested in seeing that. I know he was doing stuff with Jake Shields recently. But yeah, what's going on the algorithm? What's going on everybody who just popped in? What's going on mail? But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be watching football this Sunday. Um, have you been watching Sardine Tin? Not really. I haven't been on the fish tank site too much lately. I want to put a little space between me and it, not out of like some kind of weird anger or anything like that, but just because, um, given I got my answer, I'm not going to be streaming on the site, so I'm just going to focus on my own stuff. If Fish Tank had me on, then streaming on the Fish Tank site would be my own stuff. I'd be working on what I want to do for streams on the Fish Tank site, but since I'm not going to be doing that, I've yeah, it's whatever. I'll let them do their thing. I hope Sardine Tin does well. They seem to really be pushing it with the Fish Tank brand, the Fish Tank branded accounts. So that's cool. But yeah, it's whatever. Once there's I'll start. I'll be back on there if one they decide they're gonna let me stream, which I don't think that's gonna happen. Or two, if there's some kind of development that warrants me being like, oh, I should check that out. But anyway. Um, Bird is too straightforward, boring sex addict. Yeah, yeah. I want to see a remake of the Green Mile with Bert. I'm tired, boss. I'm 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 tired, boss. Ah, man. Bert, just like Jordan Peterson, is one of those people I feel like I could do a really good impression of if I put the work in and figured out how to do it. Right now I can't. Scott's wife mogs him in soccer with her Brazilian genetics. I'll bet she would. I don't think he won a championship, but he has some pretty slick highlights. You should review some of his fights sometime. Most of his highlights are buried nowadays. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he'd be cool with this, but maybe I could hit him up and be like, "Hey, you got any fights that I can review?" But yeah, you can see in this photo right here that he has a belt on, and this is That's how I figured out that he did Muay Thai in the first place. Was I saw a picture of him, that picture probably with the belt on. I thought that was I thought that was pretty cool. You know. Um, I'm not trying to bash the guy or anything like that. I don't really know him. I know that he's kind of famous for the Omegle thing. You know, he's the Omegle Joker. Um, you know, I'm not trying to bash him or anything like that, but it's one of those things where it's like I can't tell how good he is because even with the championship belt, it's like there's the one fight of mine people find on the internet. There's a few of them, but the one fight that people always find of mine on the internet is my most recent fight in 2019 where I lost because of an injury. Before that point, I was beating the fuck out of this guy. He was not landing anything on me. I saw there was like a picture of like the moment the injury occurred and his knee was like glancing across my body. Or I don't know, maybe it landed and I just didn't feel it because the adrenaline was rushing and I felt the knee. That's what happened is our knees collided. But that guy went down to like fucking like South Carolina after that. No, actually, he fought for a championship belt after that in an MMA promotion that he was like 1-1 in. That's not exactly what you would call a championship run. And the guy he fought, I think, was like I think was on a one fight losing streak as well. Again, not exactly a championship run there, you know. And then after he lost to that guy, he went down to like one of the Carolinas or something like that, and he took part in a kickboxing tournament that was full of people that he was definitely better than. Like it was very clearly a novice kickboxing tournament that he went into with like 5 or 6 fights, you know, and he ended up winning, and that was his big thing. He came back to Massachusetts and he's taking pictures with his belt from that and shit like that, and it's like, dude, you could look up video of this guy getting like beat to high hell by me, by other dudes, you know. I just happened to be the one that got unlucky, but I would have won, you know. Um it's like I've been saying for a long time, the fight game's dirty, the fight game's weird, you know. So just because someone has a belt wrapped around them, it doesn't mean you can be like they're good. They're definitely that good. So that's why I'm curious to see, because like when somebody says, "Oh, dude, you're gonna fight Gypsy Crusader," it's like, well, I mean, fucking now you got me curious. You know, now I'm wondering. Um, do you do any cuts or do you just bulk all year round? I perma bulk, sir. And by perma bulk, I mean I stress eat and I don't work out enough. But I finally have my diet down. Like my diet was the thing that I was missing. I can work out a little bit each day and that'll help, but it was the diet that was really getting me. And now I do one meal a day. I do a small snack in the evening, you know, um, and it, it 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 works. You know, I'm noticing changes in my body. Um, Thread 01 says just got laid off for supposedly 2 weeks. Should I join another job unit or wait? Uh, I mean, keep your options open, Thread, because like you don't want to get like this kind of sort of happened to me with my job, right? Basically, I have the choice to take summers off, right? Um and I take them off now. But the first time I had a whole summer off, I didn't actually want to do that. It was actually 2023, like right after Fish Tank ended. Like Fish Tank ended a week or two after the summer break started for me. And the thing is, no matter what, I have time off in the summer because there's a few weeks where there's just nothing to do. So they're like, get the fuck out of here. But after that few weeks, I expected to get a call saying, hey, come in on these days, this time, see you then. I didn't get that though. And because of that, I just sat there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And they kind of fucked me. I wanted to work. I needed to work, but they didn't fucking call me. So it's kind of a situation where it's like maybe you should have something in your back pocket for just in case, you know. And it was even worse because I wasn't getting paid from the gym at that time because the guy who wrote the checks, Bob, the guy who unfortunately he passed away March of this year, March 1st, we believe actually, but um, he fell. He was a very old guy. He fell. He like broke his shoulder, and the owner of my gym doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know how to spell his name or something like that. But he just does not write checks, and he doesn't give people cash. He was letting Bob handle all of that shit. So I'm sitting here like there's this geriatric dude with a broken fucking whatever. I'm not gonna be like, hey, write me a check. I know you write with the broken arm, but just write me a fucking check, dude. Like I didn't want to do that, That sucked. That sucked. But anyway, um, what was I gonna say? Crank Skinatra says Alhamdulillah. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Um, do you do? Oh yeah. Do you do any cuts or do you just bulk year round? Yeah. I mean, I'm getting in shape though. I'm getting in shape. Oh, what's going on, Neon? I didn't see you there for a second. Didn't see you there. Bert would recreate the scene from the Green Mile where he cures the warden's bladder stone by grabbing his balls. Oof, I believe it. I fucking believe it. Uh, maybe a Charlie Z lolcow. Maybe Charlie Z could be a lolcow stream. Maybe it could. I actually streamed with him once on Instagram Live. I spoke to him in the DM and he was like, you seem cool. Come on the stream. Come on the stream. It's behind a paywall. It's on my Patreon. Shill alert. If you want to see that, it's patreon.com/Scott Sullivan. And there's that, and there's a bunch of other backlogged content that I don't talk about all the time. Um, a lot of the cool stuff, a lot of the fun stuff I put behind that paywall because I for a long time didn't really feel comfortable talking about a lot of it. Even like the activist shit, I never talked about anywhere ever, even behind the paywall. But I'm talking about that now, so I'm kind of at a point where it's like whatever. I'll talk about some things. Talk about some things that I've done. Not that talking to Charlie Zelenov is something that I'm like I better keep that under my hat. But it's just it's just an example of like what's behind there. Oh, what's going on, Cavalog? Hey, what's good, Scott? Stayed up tonight waiting for this and nearly missed it. Oh man, well, thanks for popping in, Cavalog. It's been a minute. Appreciate you being here. Um, oh man. Um, tell that to my nan. She's world class, undefeated BJ belt holder. Oof. I think I want to meet your grandma, Scratch Coast. I think I want to meet her. Um, but yeah, I'm getting ready to compete again too, but it's gonna be like a really low stakes situation. Like it's gonna basically be a smoker. For one thing, I want to do Shuai Jiao. That's the main one that I'm gonna do no matter what. And then over the next week or two, I'm gonna decide if I want to do what they call Ultimate Sunda, which is literally just MMA. Like I'm gonna be doing MMA basically at a place um in Boston, most likely. But I'm gonna be right back, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I gotta take a big shit, so I'm gonna be right back. One moment, one moment. Uh where oh shit, where's the BRB? Oh, there it is. Don't worry. I'm gonna be in the chat though. I'm gonna be in the chat though. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. It's one of those ones that sneaks up on you, and all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, you gotta go." Uh-oh. Oh man, but uh, Scott saw the outside and had to fix the problem. Oh boy, I'm probably the minority where I'm the minority where I live. That's the way it goes. It's the way it goes in the city of Compton. But yeah, quiet thread. Like if there's one thing I've learned is that you always got to have a backup for yourself, you know. And like this is something that a lot of people don't need to be told, but I had to like figure it out, you know. Um, like you should never be in a situation with somebody who's like not like a close friend or a family member or something like that where you don't have a backup plan or an escape route or something like that, you know. Um, and again, I talked about this last stream when I kind of, semi trauma dumped on you guys where like I was a little bit too agreeable my whole life, and in addition to that I was a little bit too quick to like throw myself into whatever was going on, and I never had a backup plan, and I never had boundaries or anything like that. And I only started like forming boundaries when I was like 22, 23, 24, somewhere around there. And even then there were still some situations where I kind of let myself go, and because of that I ended up fucked. And again, that's why I'm kind of in the situation I'm in with my gym right now, where I'm in the gym 4 to 6 days a week, but I'm not working out. So because of that I'm overweight as fuck, you know. I can't take care of myself anymore, and it really sucks. It really sucks, I'll tell you that much, you know. But um anyway, like definitely see what you can get for if either A, they don't call you back, or B, if you are unable to get unemployment for the time that you are going to be laid off, you know? I saw you mention something about the army or something like that. Yeah, now is not the time to join the army. I would say it's probably not the time to join the army as of right now, you know? I think they're probably switching from peacetime, um, peacetime, upward mobility to war. What I mean is the armed forces, they serve as a way for people who are too poor for college and other things to find upward mobility in this world. You know, that's where you go for free training, free everything, 4 to 6 years of your life, you know. And then you get out and now you're an electrician, or you're this or you're that or you're another thing, you know. Or like depending on what happens, you get the GI Bill. I believe the GI Bill is only for combat veterans now. It's not for everybody, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Um, but when times start getting tough on the world stage, well, that's when the army starts switching into, all right, let's get ready to fucking die for Israel mode, you know? And I feel that that's probably where we're at now. I know Arthur Morgan, another longtime watcher of mine who has been popping in lately. He joined the armed forces recently, and he seems to be enjoying it. Some people, they just like it. Some people just kind of, it's just their thing, you know. But if you're not absolutely positively sure it's going to be your thing, it's like you should be careful with that. You should be careful with that. What's going on? John 4:24, Acts 2, Isaiah 6:1, Corinthians. You still got snapping those punches. Power is the last to go. Um, I don't know if you're talking about me, John, or if you're talking about somebody else. Yeah, and I mean, I'm only 30 years old anyway. Like, I'm still quick. I'm still agile. It's just like I'm fat guy agile. The thing, this is one of those secrets about the health at any size movement, which was like barely even a thing in the first place. But like one thing I saw was like fat people who they were doing like backflips and shit like that. They were doing movements that most fat people cannot do. The secret to that is that these people were once skinny and in shape, and they learned how to do those movements, and then they put on a bunch of body fat. So the muscle memory is still there under all of that body fat. Therefore, it's easier for them to move that way. And that's what it is when you see me. I'm a lot quicker than you would expect somebody my size to be. I'm a lot more agile. And that's because I learned how to move when I was a lot smaller than I am now. Not smaller, but skinnier, a lot in better shape. And it's all muscle memory, you know? So like yeah, I got quick hands still. I'm pretty agile still. It's just that I'm bogged down by all this fat. So because of that, I'm not as agile, I'm not as quick. But if I lost the fat, I'd be in really good shape. 30 to like 33, some people they're really lucky they can extend it to 34. That's like athletic prime. Like if you get into the best, it specifically if you've been an athlete your entire life, that is kind of considered to be your athletic prime, specifically in the boxing and mixed martial arts world. So it is kind of a situation where, like, if you're in shape and you have been training that whole time, you're going to get some of the best results. That's your peak. But then after that, you slowly start to do that. For some people, it's more, Um, but yeah, athletic skinny people can become athletic fats, but it's rare a usually fat person can gain actual athleticism. Yes, exactly. Exactly, And that's why I said that's the secret, is because those people weren't fat and then they decided, "You know what? I'm going to start becoming a personal trainer." That's not the way it worked. They were a personal trainer and they let themselves go, you know? Um oh man. Uh Shit, what was Paul Miller was his last name, right? Paul Miller was his last name, I believe. Paul Miller. Yes. Huh. Ah, okay, yeah. We got one. We got at least one. We got at least one. And we might have two actually. We might actually have two here because I believe this right here is Gypsy Crusader, where yeah, yeah. Huh. Uh, eh, 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 eh. Does Gypsy Crusader have back tats like that? Uh, oh no no no. I don't think that's yeah. Banaziac. Fucking this Paul Banaziac guy. There's this oh yeah no no so this right here is not our Paul Miller. That is not our Paul Miller. It's definitely not. Or is it? I don't know. Is that him? Is that him? That looks like it could be him. He Paul Banaziac he's really good. He's really good. He trained at Namsak Noise Gym, which Namsak Noise considered to be like one of the best ever, specifically of the golden age. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not the best Muay Thai guy you've ever seen, but he was a really high level guy in America at least. I remember Lawrence Kenshin was really I can remember Lawrence Kenshin. Um, Man, this looks like him. This looks like him. Is it like I'm gonna see? Oh, okay. Haha, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna assume this this is our Gypsy Crusader. So I don't know. I guess we're watching Gypsy Crusaders fights. Um, but yeah, anyway. Uh, but yeah, Paul, like that's a pretty big name for him to have fought. So that's pretty good for him. We're gonna definitely check that one out. Is this also him? I don't know if that's him. I couldn't tell you. I'll be honest with you. Sorry, just looking around here. All right, so we'll go down the line. So this is a 9-minute fight. I wish Jake Shields fights were as entertaining as his Twitter account. Yeah, yeah. You see, um, yeah, it can be tough. It can be tough, But we'll go ahead. We'll take a look. So I don't know which one's which. Oh well, that's him then. That's him. Okay. Oh, low kick. He jab, low kick, followed by another low kick. He really loves spamming those low kicks. He's got a very He's very aggressive right out the gate. He's got like a very Dutch style here, very Dutch kickboxing style right now, you know. This must be one of his first fights or something like that, because you can kind of see the you can see the overextension, you can see like other things like that. He looks really raw, you know, like this I didn't exactly look great in my last fight either, but like I didn't look that great in a different way. But like in one of my other fights specifically, you can see I'm kind of the same way where I'm like leaning into my punches, I'm throwing them from really really far away, you know. Jab into a low kick. I believe it might have been checked. Hold on. That was interesting. What was that, like a fake? I believe he faked the left kick and then he went hook cross. Yeah, he tried. Yeah, so he basically switched stances. You know, low kick from the other guy. So he's setting up his kicks with his punches, which is good. Oh yeah, he's kicking at the hip right here though. I'm sure that's something that in his later fights you hold on. You can see the boxer. I wonder if he started out boxing and then he got into Muay Thai, because look at his stance here specifically. You see this? That's a very boxing kind of stance right there. But I was saying he kicks at the hip every now and again, and I'm sure that's something he corrected as time went on. But you don't want to kick to the hip, you know. You want to kick to the leg, even if it's the upper leg, right? It's better than kicking the bone on the hip. Fighting in what looks like a high school gym, it probably is. Oh, hey. Actually, no. It's probably just a local gym. This is probably a smoker. I would bet this is a smoker. You know. Great camera work there. Oh man, you got kicked in the balls again. Again. That'll happen with those inner leg kicks sometimes. So I mean, his output is pretty big. He's pretty aggressive, you know, and I'd give him the round right now just for that. When he gets hit, he's getting hit with some solid shots, but the thing is, he's more active and he's hitting the other guy more, even if the shots can be a little bit questionable at times, you know. Oh, hey, that was a nice one. Oh, hey. See, it's really easy, right? Because people think leg kicks is like you get hit with one and you're dead. You just explode, but that's not the case. Hey, that was nice. That was nice clinch work. People think when it comes to leg kicks, like you eat one or two of them and your body just fucking explodes. But like you can take quite a few leg kicks, and it's real easy, especially when you're early on in your career. Did he get kicked in the nuts again? Apparently not. It looked like it though. Oh, hey, nice clinch work. He kneed into the clinch. Oh, hey, nice full plumb, couple of knees. That's nice. See, I'm not a. Oh, ho, ho, that was nice. Hell yeah. Fucking that was. I don't think that was legal in Muay Thai. I don't think you're actually allowed to take somebody down like that hip toss. But that was pretty good clinch work. I'm not much of a clinch guy myself. I'll be honest with you. You know, it's just my MMA instincts tell me when I'm in that close to change levels and take a dude down, or at the very least, like try and hit a trip or something like that. But um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is definitely someone's gym. This is most certainly a smoker at somebody's gym. But oh shit, fuck, fuck? I feel like I was in the middle of explaining something. Oh yeah, people think leg kicks means you like your body's gonna fall apart, your leg's gonna fall off after like two or three of them. But the thing is, it doesn't work like that, because one, the adrenaline is pumping, and two, people are not made of glass. So it's real easy for you to keep throwing leg kicks at somebody and they just keep eating them, even if they start to hurt. The benefit of that is that you're scoring on the person. And the other person, it's real easy to just let it happen because they don't feel an immediate pain that is so intense that they feel like they have to do something about it. So it's easy for them to just let somebody throw kicks at them like that. And that's kind of what was happening this round. Is Gypsy was doing a good job of throwing those kicks at the thigh, excuse me. He's been doing it the whole time, and he's landing because the other guy half the time isn't checking, and for the most part he's just letting Gypsy get away with it. He's not making him pay for it. That's the thing you have to remember, especially with leg kicks, is you don't want to let somebody have one for free. You have to return kick right off of that immediately. All right, we'll skip ahead. Jab cross to the body from Gypsy. Oh, hey. That was that was a that was a nice explosion off the body kick. Gypsy must have boxed. The way oh, damn it. The way the way he throws his punches, it wouldn't surprise me if he boxed at one point. He probably started out boxing, he got decent at it, and then he got into Muay Thai, and he must really like the clinch from Muay Thai. Me, oh hey, he start whoa. See, I think the issue there was probably, I'm curious, he probably got a little bit upset that he was getting kneed, which is understandable, but he ended up pulling a head down into the knee. At a lot of smokers and a lot of amateur promotions or just amateur fights, you're not allowed to throw knees to the head. For what reason, I really don't know why. I got to be honest with you. Knees to the head are hard to land in the first place. I understand no elbows because elbows cut, and it's like, okay, dude, do we want to have to send people to the hospital to get stitches? Like, let's leave it to the pros. That way, there's less of those kinds of injuries. But knees to the head, I never quite understood. I don't know what the onus for that is. I feel like maybe it's the 12-6 elbow type thing where some doctor who thinks he's an expert is like, no, that's too dangerous. But anyway, maybe he got kneed in the balls. That was a nice knee. Return knee. There was a knee attempt from the other guy. There was a knee. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Yep. Yeah, so Gypsy threw a knee to the head. This guy stopped. He was like, "Oh, that's not legal." And then he got bopped. And then the referee jumped in. Um it's real easy to want to play boxing or play Muay Thai or something like that, but you really shouldn't. As somebody who, when I first got into the fight game, I didn't understand it for what it really was. I can tell you that it's not good to have it's just a sport and we're following the rules kind of attitude towards it. I'm not saying break the rules willy-nilly or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if there's a foul, you either fall over and go, and then everything will stop, or you keep on fighting and wait for the ref to break. And if he doesn't break, well, then whatever. You got fouled. You got to keep going, man. This guy was fine. He's fucking fine. Favorite move was lead leg low kick, then jumping roundhouse to the head. Oh man, almost like a TKD combo. Yeah, chaining kicks together can be fun. Especially, I don't know if by jumping roundhouse you mean a switch kick. That's something I'll do every now and again if I feel like I can get away with it. When I want to feel like Namsak Noi. I never learned how to pronounce his name. When I want to feel like Namsak Noi, I'll go inner leg and then I'll immediately switch into a body kick. It can be fun. It can definitely be fun. Um, all right, so as of right now, I'd say Gypsy's probably winning. He definitely took that first round. I believe, was that the first round? I think that might have been the end of the first round. There was just that much time. These guys are trading now, though. It's pretty even in the beginning of this round. I'm also sometimes forgetting who's who. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're wearing just similar enough clothing that I'm kind of like, I should have figured out you see, so that's Gypsy. I know because he's got the wing tattoo. So I gotta keep that in mind. He's got the red gloves. Gypsy has the red gloves, is what he's got. Red gloves. Ooh, that was a nice cross down the middle, and then it was either a kick or a knee that also landed for the other guy too. You know, interesting little trade. Wow, that is the third time in what I believe might be 2 rounds. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Break down Mark Zuckerberg's fight. You know, I feel like I tried to find Mark Zuckerberg's jiu-jitsu matches and I just couldn't. Either that or maybe I did and I just forgot. But maybe we're gonna take a look at a couple more of Gypsy's fights because I found a couple of them. You know, and then after that we will what's it called that after that we'll do our thing. 1v1 Hitler versus Mao, who would win? That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know. Huh. I feel like Hitler would probably win that one. I feel like Mao can only fight when there's bushes around. I feel like that's probably the only time Mao Zedong could actually win a fight is if there's bushes for him to hide in an ambush. You know, if it was a straightener, you know, just a meet me outside kind of affair, a fair one, throwing the ones, banging, you know. I don't think it would be I don't think it would be you know, I don't think Mao would stand a chance. Oh, that was a nice teep to counter that kick. Teep followed by a jab from Gypsy. Oh, okay. Mister the other guy, we're gonna call him Mister Nut Kick because he keeps on kicking him in the fucking nuts. He really likes that Superman punch. That's what happens with a lot of amateurs, especially when it's like your first fight. You're late in the fight. Either you feel like you're losing, or you're just like, oh man, I don't know what else to do. That was a nice cock kick. Unfortunately, you couldn't take him down. Hey, that was nice. That may have just given that right there may have just given Gypsy the fight. That last 10 second that last 10-second space may have given Gypsy the fight. I also had no idea the other dude was black. Oh man, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Fuck, what was oh yeah, what I was saying is sometimes these dudes, right? Sometimes these dudes they will sometimes these dudes will like especially when it's like their first fight, um they'll start whipping out what they saw on TV, like the highlight reel, like, oh, I bet if I hit him with a Superman punch, he'll never see it coming. And then they miss by a fucking country mile, you know? Oh, dude, I bet if I throw a spinning back fist right now, I'll nail him. And they almost fall on their ass, like that type of shit, you know? And that seems to be what Mr. Nutkick was pulling, was happening with him. This, I want to see if this is actually an actual boxing match with Gypsy Crusader. That is definitely not him. I don't believe that's him. I don't believe that's actually him. They're gonna do the. Is that? I don't you know. Is that him? We're gonna have to do the comments check. Oh, comments are turned off. Interesting. Is this? I mean, this is apparently Paul Miller, the guy. So yeah, no, that's not Gypsy Crusader. There's no way. Oh, dude, fucking Commonwealth Games. Yeah, no way. That was not it. But this is Gypsy Crusader. This is Gypsy Crusader. Oh boy. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll go straight to the Benaziac one. Raja Jackson fight. Has Raja Jackson actually had a fight? Oh, Gypsy. Oh man. Gotta go, Addy hit. Peace out, Tomifer. Break down a Kimbo Slice fight. I don't know what there is to break down in the Kimbo Slice fights. NFL is playing in Brazil right now, really? Oh, yeah, kick right out the gate from Paul, followed by another kick, followed by another kick. They're both named Paul. I just realized. So we'll just call him Gypsy and then Paul. So we're gonna call this Paul Gypsy, and then we're gonna call this guy Paul. So that was a nice pummeling from Paul. Yeah, he got the inside, and although Gypsy did land a couple of nice knees there. Oh, wait, Paul work. Fuck. Gypsy trying to work his way in with punches. Oh, wait, was that? Did he get swept or did he just fall? Oh no, he just fell. He just fell. That's all that happened. Oi. Oi. Ooh, that was a slick counter from Paul. Some interesting clinch work going on here. See, clinch work is an art in and of itself, you know? Like you could have a whole martial art with just clinch work. Ooh, that was nice combination, nice hand combination from a Gypsy there. A couple of them got through. Ooh, was that an elbow that got through? Was that an elbow or was that a punch? Ooh, that was an elbow. That was an elbow. Let's see here. Let's see how it landed. Oh, bang. Ooh, yeah. That was a nice elbow there. Oh yeah, nice kick from the clinch. Kicking in the clinch can be kind of fun. Trading knees seems like Paul is getting the best of the clinch work in some cases. More specifically, the grappling. He's getting hit with a knee every now and again. In that case, I think he won that clinch exchange. Ooh, nice shot from Paul. Gypsy pushing Paul off so he doesn't have to engage in the clinch. There's Paul again working that clinch. You see what? Oh, was that a sweep or did he just fall over? Um, mm, No, I think he just fell over. I think he just fell over. But one thing I was gonna say, I was actually gonna pause it because I figured it would probably happen, but it didn't. One thing you're seeing Paul do over here is when his arms are on the outside. When right now this arm is on the inside, it is in the inside position. He has the ability to control the head and the neck with this glove. This glove is on the outside, meaning instead of being here, it is here. Because of this, Gypsy Crusader, his right arm is actually on the inside position. So he has control of Paul's head. What you see Paul do every now and again is he swims. It's basic clinch work, right? It's nothing that's like technically like extremely high level or anything like that. But I'm just explaining to you guys what's going on with the clinch exchanges because it can be tough because you want to watch the head, but then you see something happen with the legs. You see a knee get through or something like that. So now you're watching the legs. Then you look back up and they're in a completely different position. You know, it can be tough to follow at times, but that's something that he's been doing a good job of is when he ends up in the outside position, he swims and he gets an inside position, a full plum, a full tie plum, you know? Guy looks like a bootleg Andrew Tate. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Except this guy is a lot better than Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a very good example of the kind of guy who I have been talking about for a long time now, including it was like one of the. Ooh, oh, hey, nice. What I was saying is Andrew Tate is a great example of one of those guys that I was talking about over the last week where like he pads his record. Andrew Tate had like 80 something fights. Most of those fights were against guys that had little to no experience. They were guys who they had like a few amateur fights and then maybe they went pro and now they're like 1-0, 2-0, 3-2, 4-6, like things like that. Meanwhile, this is a dude who's had 80 something fights in his pro career, you know, or will have 80 something fights in his pro career. That's why Andrew Tate never made it big onto the world scene. That's why he was never anyone that was that serious in the fighting world, is because in kickboxing, you can pad a record. Just like in MMA, but the thing is, you're going to get exposed a lot easier and a lot quicker in kickboxing. You can pad a record and then get into the UFC, and they can give you easy fights in the UFC, and then maybe you'll get exposed later on, you know? It's just the way the fight game goes. I actually think it's very respectable for Gypsy to have fought a guy like this. Because this dude, like I said, we'll look up if I'm pretty sure this is the guy that I'm thinking of, but we'll look up some of his highlights after this. What's going on, Benjamin Young? How you doing? Oh, hey, nice kick, nice punches from Gypsy. Oh, hey, nice clinch. Oh, they're trading on the inside. Dirty boxing. Nice clinch work. You see what Paul's doing right here because he doesn't want to engage in the clinch right this second. He wants to try and slow the game down as he's taking a knee and he's sticking it in there because if Gypsy tries to throw a knee, he's gonna be smothered. This is framing. He's framing with the knee in the same way that you'll see me and Sam does this too. You'll see me when I'm sparring with Sam every now and again. I'll like extend my arms to try and control his. I'm framing so that he isn't able to punch me. That's what this dude is doing, except he's doing it with his legs so that Gypsy can't knee. Break down a Scott Sullivan fight. Did I ever tell you guys? Oy, I'm sure I've watched a couple of my fights with you guys by now. Ooh, man, did they just bonk knees, bonk legs? That fucking sucks. You see what I was talking about with the swimming? His left arm just went right in there. So I mean, Paul is winning the hand exchanges, but excuse me, Gypsy Crusader is winning the hand exchanges, but Paul is not doing that bad in the hands department. I think Paul is winning the clinching exchanges. Somebody's bleeding right now too. When it comes to kicks, it's kind of a toss up. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of tough to know because we've seen so much clinch and so many hand exchanges. I kind of forget who's been throwing more kicks. Oh, hey. You see you're seeing the swelling on Paul's left arm, you know? The thing is, like, even though like in Muay Thai, depending on the rule set that you're using, right? If you're using a traditional Thai rule set, getting kicked in the arm is considered to be a landed kick. It's not considered to be blocked. But even in a rule set where that is considered to be a block, it's called a Dutch block. Nice. I see what I'm talking about. Again, Paul is doing a very good job of not just ending up in the clinch and staying there. He's active. He's trying to. Ooh, seems like Gypsy's a little overwhelmed right now. Yeah, it looks like Gypsy's starting to fade a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It happens though. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like they call it cracking the nut in Muay Thai, right? Because even if you're in a rule set where a Dutch block is considered to be a defended kick, it does not count as a landed kick. You're still kicking someone in the arm, and that's gonna suck. It's gonna start to suck eventually. And you're gonna notice their hands get lower and lower and lower, and because of that, the head kick is open. Again, you see what I'm talking about. That's why Paul is winning the exchanges, is because he's a little bit more active. Even when he's not active with the knees, he's active with the hands, which puts him in a much better position to control what's going on. Oh, hey, nice inner leg kick. Inner leg kick again. Doesn't quite land. You see, there's a lefty versus righty battle, so the rear leg kicks are typically going to be inner leg kicks. Ooh, is that a teep? Is that a teep? Is that a teep to the is that a teep to the thigh that stops Paul mid kick? Mid punch, excuse me. Oh, hey, that was nice. That was well timed. See, clinch exchange, and the thing is, Paul is losing the knee battle at this point, the clinch battle in general. So he's not even trying to clinch anymore. He's just trying to he's trying to land something in clinch range that's going to end this fight. You can see he's starting to gas, he's starting to fade. And I mean, hey, it happens. That was a nice body hook from Gypsy. Nice body hook from Paul too. They're just trading body hooks. They're in an ego battle over the body hook. Ooh, ego battle over the body shots. It's looking nice. Ooh, that was a nice shot up top from Paul. Followed by another one. And another one. Ooh, yeah. Followed by another short hook, another short hook. And is it why the ref break? I don't see why the ref broke that. That was strange. That was strange. All right, here we have Paul Benaziac is his name. But yeah, this dude was taking it real serious for a long time, you know. I don't know where Gypsy went. He's just like, nah, I'm out of here, peace. Oh, hey, would you look at that? Is that Gypsy? See? No, that's not Gypsy. That guy's got a Sit Yud Tong shirt on. Sit Yud Tong was the first school of Muay Thai that I learned, if you will. You know, that was the first Muay Thai program that I was a part of through my gym. We used to be affiliated with their American, I wouldn't call it headquarters, but kind of like the most famous American location of theirs, which is in Somerville, Massachusetts. So that's that's pretty cool. Um, uh, let's say, oh, Sityodtong. Oh yeah, Sityodtong, Connecticut. Oh, so this dude's from Connecticut. I had no idea. Hmm. You know, I know of some of these names, but I'm not like that familiar with them. Paul, like I said, because I'm like the the thing the thing a lot of people don't understand about the fight game as well is that like there's no shame in losing to somebody who is that good, you know? I've lost to dudes that are like that much better than me, you know? Like I had no business fighting a college wrestler, specifically the captain of a college program. Like college wrestling is like the purple or brown belt of the wrestling world, you know? And black belt would be like NCAA, like the upper echelon of of NCAA Division 1 into like the into the world stage, right? World championships or the Olympics and things like that, right? When it comes to wrestling, it doesn't um even like the worst college wrestler is still leagues ahead of the best high school wrestler. It's insane the jump that occurs. Um like I had no business fighting someone like that. So when I look at my record and I see loss to this guy, it's like, well, yeah, of course I was going to lose to that guy, you know? And it's kind of the same situation with Gypsy Crusader, where it's like, fucking, you see this guy, right? Um, yeah, here we go, right? Oi, this is kind of stupid there. I just wanna. Oh, Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. Like again, this is like this guy is really good. Is the point that I'm trying to make? You know, like there's no shame that Gypsy lost to this dude at all. Like not even a little bit. You know. And that's something that you have to consider in a lot of people is like it's not just the number on the paper, it's like who did they fight, you know? I fought two college wrestlers and then a dude who was training under a former UFC guy who had a much bigger camp than I did. He has dudes, one of them is Chris Mutino. And then he had a couple other dudes who were like, they were like considered to be some of the better guys in the region at that time. Me, I was the only fighter at my gym for most of the time that I was fighting, you know? I didn't exactly have a big team or anything like that. So it's like it's frustrating when outsiders don't understand what it is, you know? And I think that's something that you have to understand, not just for someone like me, but for someone like Gypsy, who like excuse me, he got in there with a really tough dude, and like if you are an idiot, you're just gonna be like, oh well, that was a loss. He lost to that guy. And it's like, yeah, and you know, that's part of the reason why, like I said, like I said it a little while ago, the trolls got to me a little bit. The trolls got to me. It's not that the trolls got to me really like that. I have always wanted to have another fight or two, but I decided when I have that fight or two, it's going to be a pro fight, and I'm going to make sure I pick an opponent that is not going to be that much of a challenge, because in the future when I talk to people and they say, "Oh, you used to fight? What was your record?" I can say, oh, I had one pro fight and I won. Oh, I had two pro fights. I won both of them. Things like that. Because people are stupid and they just think about numbers on paper. They don't think about who you actually fought. You know, they don't care that you lost a razor thin decision to a guy who would go on to become a world champion or anything like that. All they care about is, oh well, you know, you lost. It's like, all right, man. You know, again, um you guys said you wanted to see one of my fights, right? I'll go over the one. I feel like I've done it before. But I kind of forget. I kind of sort of forget if I actually did. Beats me. I think it's all shame every way you swing it, win or lose. Why is it a shame every way you swing it, Benjamin? I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm curious and I'm confused. Yeah, you said you wanted to see a fight. I'll show you my most recent fight, and we'll talk about that one a little bit. I don't know why I forgot the fucking name. Uh, yeah, fuck it. I guess I'll just do this one, right? Um, go here. Bada boom, bada boom. So yeah, I went stomp kick immediately. He checked it. You see, I almost bit, and then I bit on something that was not 100% there. I thought he was going to step in hard with his hands down like that. So I tried to line up a head kick right away because I figured, hey, fuck it. Might as well get out of here. I'm not getting paid by the hour. So I threw a hook kick that didn't quite land, but I saw him do that, and because of that, I knew he was flat-footed, so I went in. I didn't throw a single jab this entire time. It's because I undertrained, if I'm being completely and totally honest with you. I didn't get enough skills training. Nice slapping hook there. Almost tripped over him, ran right into him. I over-pursued was my problem, you know? So here I am. I'm still trying to line up that head kick, and I land it, but it was really only a glancing blow, you know? So again, like where has he landed a shot this whole time? He really hasn't. You know, I'm the only one who's landed anything. That was kind of an ugly kick on my part, followed by another one on my part. It just, it was really weird when I kicked him. When I kicked him, you see what happened, right? He just kind of like what, like usually you would kick somebody and you'd expect resistance, but when I kicked him, it's like that happened. It's like fucking. It was so weird. You see that kick, right? Bang. He lifted up his leg, that's why. And then he lifted up his leg again as the kick was coming in. That's what happened. So I hit him with that slapping hook, followed by another one. And then what I did was I got in nice and close because I found myself, right? So bang, bang. that was good, but I found myself in a position where I was real easy to hit. So because of that, instead of staying there flat-footed, I got in as close as I could and I tried to bury my head in his chest. That's more of a boxing thing if we're being honest here, but you can use it in Muay Thai if you know how to use it. You have to keep on moving forward into the guy though, which you can see is what happens, right? I end up taking some off the high guard. He doesn't really land anything. Tried to land that kick, didn't quite make it there. I think I tried for another hook kick and I ended up in that same spot, so I went bull guard again, and then that's where the knee ended up coming in. That's where you can see, right? So I want to see if I can catch the moment. Oh, geez. We're fucking up here. Uh, so there's a reason why this happened too, right? He threw a knee that was direct. It was a straight line. Now me, a a habit that I had gotten into for a while, and I still do this every now and again, but I don't do it as much as I used to, is I used to chamber my knee. And what I mean by chamber the knee is instead of going like straight in like he did, what I would do is I would start with the knee facing slightly outward and then I would turn it in at the last second, right? It's hard for me to show you without actually being able to show you here. Um, and what that did was it allowed a situation where I came up like this, he came up like that, and he got me on the inside of the knee. That's why I got the worst of it. The reason why I chamber my knee like that is because depending on the situation you're in, you can turn it into other things. You can use that to fake a knee and you can go for a teep. You can use that to fake a knee and go for a kick. You can fake a kick and go for a knee. Chambering gives you certain options that make you a little bit tough to deal with. But as we were racing to deliver knees to each other, since he had the more direct movement, that's why I got the worst of it, you know? And then, of course, you can see me kind of clutching the knee there. Bar fighting the hell out of this guy. Pretty much gay guy. Pretty much. I turned it into a street fight as soon as I could because honestly, like, it was weird. I've told the story before, you know. I've told the story before. Um, but I'll tell it again after because you know I suppose I might as well. You know, my knee is like immediately starting to like swell. You can see like you can see my knee does not quite look right if you look close enough. So even there, it's like he's not really landing. Like I'm using head movement. I think he may have landed like one of those hooks to the body, but for the most part, I just kind of fucking fell over. There's another angle that we can watch as well if you want. I don't know if I've ever showed this angle, but the story behind this fight was I took the fight and I was not actually training at that time. I was coaching. I was teaching classes because my coach, the owner of my gym, had dismissed the Muay Thai instructor who was teaching at my gym for some stupid bullshit political reason. It was like he was telling people stuff that he wasn't supposed to be saying about like what the plans for the gym were or something like that, as if that's a huge deal. And his answer after that was to install me as the Muay Thai instructor, which I was qualified to do. But the thing is, it was kind of just a situation where he was like, well, we'll throw Scott in there and whatever happens, happens. We didn't even advertise, excuse me. We didn't even advertise Muay Thai at that point. We were at a point where it was like, whatever, I guess we're just a jujitsu school now and we'll do cardio kickboxing on Mondays and Wednesdays. Haha, I guess that's what's going to happen. And because of that, not only was I supposed to be coaching, but like nobody was showing up to the classes anyway because nobody knew we had them. Because everybody who was coming before was told, no, we're not going to have them anymore. And we never started advertising cardio kickboxing. So basically, I spent the 2 months leading up to this hitting the bag and maybe getting some pad work in and getting some sparring. That's really all I got. So when I got in there, I was very undertrained in the skills department. I was not very sharp, and that's part of the reason why I had to turn it into a fucking a brawl like that. I had to be like, nope, bang bang, and then just get right in his face. You know, um, I couldn't sit here and let this guy get started because he was probably a little sharper than me. So I had to just be like, no, we're smashing him. You know. But then in addition to that, my place fucking burned down like a week and a half to 2 weeks before this. So I missed like 3 or 4 days of training, which is a big deal 2 weeks out from a fight. I missed like 3 or 4 days of training just processing the fact that my place burned down, trying to move all my shit from my place to my parents' house, and then wondering like, should I even fucking fight right now? Should I even fucking fight right now? I don't know, dude. Shit. But I decided I'd go with it. You know. That was a really strange time. But we'll go ahead. We'll take a look at the other angle. This is actually the official angle of this. You know. This is actually the official. This is actually the official angle of it. So here it is, right? Much better camera angle, much better camera, you know? You're going to see that not all of them landed, too. Not all of my punches landed as well. You see, so that's what I was talking about with that hook kick, right? So I threw that hook kick because a lot of people don't expect a hook kick, right? And if you land a hook kick, it can really do damage. Oh boy. Um damn. That's kind of a funny picture. That's actually a pretty funny picture, but that hook kick did not come anywhere near him looking at it. There was like a good 6 to 7 inches or more of space between him and that hook kick. But I caught him so off guard that he overreacted. And because of that, when I went down, I caught him flat-footed. And because of that, I was able to get in there. I think 1 or 2 of those punches landed, but a lot of them didn't. Hopped in with an inner leg. Both of those hooks landed. He did not like that either, and that's where I almost fell over the guy. And there's that head kick. You can again, like you can see that like it hurt him, but it didn't hurt him like it was supposed to. You know, Scott doing the Peter. What's the Peter? And bang, right? If you give me this much space, I can ding you in the temple. I'm really really good with that lead leg high kick. It's gonna suck when I can't do it anymore because I'm not flexible enough. I'm so fucking good with it. But see, I start kind of tagging him up a little bit. The thing is, though, right? The reason why I'm not knocking him out, and this is what skills training would have helped me with. You're gonna. Oh man, that's funny as hell. Anyway, hold on. Wait for. Oh geez, I just can't pause us at a point where we look cool. We both look so fucking stupid every time I pause it. I miss having that much of a hairline, by the way. But so you're gonna see, right? That was perfect. That's exactly what I needed, right? So you notice something here. The way I'm landing, I'm landing here, right? You see how I've over rotated? There is not a whole lot of power in there. There would have been a lot more power if I had turned my glove in. If I didn't overextend and over rotate like that. If I had hit him like this. But I was not sharp. I didn't have that skills training, and nobody was telling me, hey, you're slapping with your hook, dude. You gotta actually turn that thing in and nail him here. Because when you turn your fist in on a hook, it's so much more powerful because you're getting the titty, you're getting the titty, you're getting the shoulder, the bicep, the forearm into it. And I'm sure even here a little bit too, right? I forget what these are called. But you're getting this in there too. There is so much more power off of that. And if I had hit him with that, you would have seen his head pop off his body, and somebody would have taken it home as a souvenir. But because I was not as sharp as I should have been, you can see my undies here. Because I was not as sharp as I should have been, I was making these fucking dumbass mistakes, and because of that, it didn't end as soon as it should have. You know? I mean, he definitely doesn't like getting hit. You can see. You know, he's not a fan of it. He's definitely not a fan of it. Ooh, one thing I like as well, right? It's always a good idea to use your head in the clinch. You should always lead with your forehead to the chin every single time. It's a dick move, and dick moves in fighting are a good idea. So there's that kick. That was a solid kick, but then he lifted his leg up there. Bang bang, another slapping hook. So there's that attempted hook kick. And you can see right here. I don't know if it's a better or a worse angle, but ah, um man, come on, dude. I hate how YouTube's fucking shit is. Let's see if we can't playback speed 5. It kind of comes out of nowhere, that knee. Like, you see he's walking in, and then out of nowhere he perks up, and bang, there goes the knee. Yeah, so he got me with that knee because I remember feeling it hit and then it rode up my leg, right? And you can see that it ends up riding up the leg there. So I didn't even get the knee off in its entirety. I just like lifted my leg into it basically, and that was not fun. Not fun. But then we will oh, what am I doing? Okay. All right. Here we go. So again, like I'm honestly still kind of fucking landing on the dude half the time. Not half the time, but like even hurt, I still caught him with my forearm like that, which that's not considered a scoring blow, but it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, well, I mean, it fucking hit him in the head. But again, like even here is like it's not really landing so much as I just kind of fell over. Um Sorry, I was checking something out. But yeah, you guys said you wanted to see one of my fights. I feel like I've shown that fight before. Um, but it's whatever. You wanted to see one of my fights. So let's see the Zuck. Let's see the Zuckerborg. Oh hey, that's funny. Look at this. Muay Thai Houston fight, Octavius Thunder. That was shit, I forget his name in I forget his name. I forget his name in I've fuck oh wait, no, I'm pretty sure he just called himself Octavius. I'm pretty sure that's what we called him anyway. But that dude was from season 2. He was the guy who was supposed to mog Brian, the Brian. Um Sorry, I'm just looking around to see what happens when I type in whatever it was I typed in to get that. I was curious about it. I was curious about it. Um, but anyway, hmm. This dude fought 2 years ago. I had no clue. Nuri, the guy that I fought there. Mark Zui Zuckerberg Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu. All right, so that's his first jiu-jitsu match apparently. This had better be the whole match. It better be the whole fucking match. So we have a collar tie, jockeying for the position. An attempted snap down from Mr. This fucking guy, the other guy. Kind of looks Indian, I don't know. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. You see Zuck tried to level change for a double leg takedown, but he left his head on the outside. You're gonna see, right? You're gonna see. So he level changes. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oh boy, rich boy, fucking not playing by the rules, huh? I thought he was going for a double. I think he switches to a double. Yeah, he tries to snatch a single, but he doesn't have the range that he needs to be able to do so. He ends up switching to a double, but he leaves his head on the outside and it's facing down like this. You need to keep it up and you want to try your best not to have your head too far to the outside. But sure enough, it happens, and this dude is like, okay, whatever. He ends up jumping the guillotine. When he jumped the guillotine, though, Zuck fell on his side, which, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Once you got a guillotine, you can finish it pretty much anywhere. But you would rather, you'd rather either be on top or on bottom. You know, it can be a little weird trying to finish a guillotine from the side like that. So here we are. Zuck gives him the top. So, actually, Zuck may be doing the right thing here. I was going to say, he's trying to pull his head out, but that's not a good idea. What he needs to do instead is he needs to tripod, which is what he did. He tripoded. And what that does is it changes the angle of the head in relation to the shoulders, and it makes it harder for this dude to choke for a couple of different reasons. So he's tripoding, which is good. It's making it tough for this dude to finish the guillotine. Plus, it's an arm-in guillotine. I'm just realizing those can be a little bit tougher to finish, you know? David, this is Mark Zuckerberg versus some other guy. What I would assume is, I don't know if it's like a California Open or something like that, but jiu-jitsu competition. So Zuck is out of the guillotine. He is standing right now. He is standing and he's trying his best to what I would assume is stack. Yeah, so he's standing up to try and put himself in a position where he can break the guard, but the thing is he just kind of gave up his leg. That's not exactly good what is going on with him now. This guy has him in a K guard. It essentially, you know. Um, you know. So the dude's kind of working. Zuck is just kind of like, you see, right now he's stacking the dude. Actually, he's trying to stack the dude. He keeps on fucking pulling the rash guard. What are you doing, Mark? Come on, man. So he's got to be very careful because this dude could get a triangle. That could be an armbar too. The guy on bottom, he's going for a couple of different submissions. He went for what I thought was going to be an omoplata. Then he caught what was about to be a triangle. Now he had what I would assume he was going to try and turn into an armbar. It just didn't quite work out. Now Zuck has almost passed the guard, but he got caught in the half guard. So if he can get his foot out, then he's going to get points for passing the guard. If he got his foot out there, he would have got points for passing the guard, and he would have got points for the mount position. But for some reason, it ended. I don't know why it ended. Did somebody tap? Did somebody tap? Who? I'm confused at what's even going on here. I'm confused at what's going on here because it looked like it was just supposed to be a reset. I didn't see anybody tap or anything like that. I'm confused. What again, like I don't know if there's something I'm missing or something like that. This is the most replayed situation here, you know? Like, did somebody say tap? Did somebody verbally submit? Hold on. Yeah, like both of them seem confused at what's going on. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what that was. What is what? So did he get? Yeah, no, I'm sure that wasn't the whole match. I'm sure that wasn't the whole match. You know, we'll check this one out. We'll check this one out. So this is a gi match. This one in particular is a gi match. Ah, yes, the classic white belt slap until you grab something. So they're going for grips right now. Zuck pulls guard like a bitch. So the guy on top has to be very careful what he does with his hands. He's got to keep his hands either on the pants or on the belt, or he can go to the armpits, which is actually something Zuck was doing a good job of in the last one, where he ended up on top. But this guy right here needs to be very careful. Like, he doesn't want to have his arm here because, depending on what happens, and including having his leg here, that's a really bad place to put your leg. You can see his left leg is all the way over there. If Zuck underhooked that leg, he would literally own the leg. There would be nothing this guy could do about it. He could sweep him using that leg, and it would really suck. It would not be fun for him. So yeah, I mean, look, these guys are white belts. They're gonna make those white belt mistakes and stuff like that. That's just the way it's gonna work. And Zuck looks like he's going for an armbar. Has he got it? He's got the armbar, but this guy, you see, what this dude needs to do is he needs to stack. He needs to try and fold Zuck in half. And one thing he can do is he can use that arm to try and crossface or try and go shoulder pressure on Zuck. And what it's going to do is it's going to take his knees and it's going to put him all the way down here. He's going to be sucking his own peener. Fucking, it's a really, really bad spot to be put in, no matter who you are. Especially if you're a big guy like me, it really sucks. You can't bend that way. And if somebody has an armbar from the bottom, then it is imperative that you do that. One thing that Zuck is doing wrong, even though he might have the armbar, and that's really good, he's crossing his feet here. That's not good, because what he needs to do instead is he needs to uncross his feet and he needs to take his heels and drive them towards this part of the guy's back. And he needs to take this heel and he needs to drive it towards the ground over his neck. Like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that this guy can't stack, so that he can't do what I just said for him to do. That way he's kind of stuck in the position. So the dude's trying to yank. He got it out and he passed the guard into a north-south, but then did they award points for that? He didn't maintain control. I believe they didn't. Yeah, they didn't award points for that. He didn't maintain control once he passed the guard. He went right back into the guard, which again is another white belt mistake. If you have the north-south position, that's a really good spot to be in. You might as well just keep the north-south. That's literally as far away as his legs can be from you, is the north-south position. So if you get around his legs, which is what passing the guard is, you might as well just stay there. We have here, he is stacking. He's attempting to stack anyway. What he's really doing is tripoding, and now he's kind of stacking the Zuck right now. I don't know what's going on. The referee called an end to it. Again, everybody kind of seems confused. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, maybe the referee thought that Mark tapped and he didn't. The thing about these tournaments, right? Much like what I said about different fighting organizations, anyone can run a jiu-jitsu tournament. Naga is a notorious tournament that is not very good when it comes to the quality of the competition. They seem to make the rules up as they go. They have literal carnival tier people, like literally the kinds of people you would expect to be running a carnival ride. They hire those people, they give them like minimal training in what the rule sets and what the attitude and the activities and things like that of a jiu-jitsu referee are supposed to be. And then they tell them, all right, get out there, you got like 40 matches to referee today. So it kind of fucking sucks. There's this dude, his name's like Kip or something like that. He actually used to know my coach back in the day. The MMA world used to be a lot more tight knit, so you had a bigger chance of knowing somebody in the game who had some kind of influence. Um, my coach trained with all sorts of dudes. He trained with Stephan Bonner. There's pictures of him and Stephan. He almost got into a fight with fucking Phil Baroni and Tito Ortiz and shit like that, over a girl. Like that's how tight knit the MMA world is, or was back in the day, because so few dudes were doing it, and it was still kind of just that underground thing. Um, yeah, it's crazy, but and it's still kind of like, everybody in MMA is really accessible. Like, imagine back when Brady was playing, imagine walking into the front office at Gillette and being like, hey, is Tom in? Figured I'd play some catch with him. They'd laugh you out of the office assuming they didn't call the police on you. They might even do both. They might laugh, call the police, laugh until the cops got there, and laugh as you get beat up and taken off premises. But if you go into the right gym on the right day, you might end up getting rounds with like a fucking world champ. They might just be in the gym that day fucking around. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. But that's one of the things I like about MMA personally. Um, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Damn it! What was I going to say? But yeah, like there's a good chance this guy has never done jujitsu in his life, or maybe he is like a white or a blue or a purple belt or something like that, and he really should not be refereeing jujitsu. And because of that, maybe he thought he saw a submission that could hurt Mark, and he was like, "Uh-oh, I better stop that." Even though it's all adults, and if somebody wants to let their arm get broken, you should probably just let them break their arm. Um, it looks like Zuck lost for no reason. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe. I'm curious what the comments say. Let's have a moment of silence for the referee's deactivated Facebook account. So basically, Jeff was trying to Ezekiel choke Mark inside of Mark's full guard. Jeff couldn't finish him, but the ref still called it. Technically, it's BS because Mark didn't submit. Okay, yeah. And that makes sense because that's something that a white belt would do, is go for the Ezekiel in that position. That's a very white belt move to do. And I figured that's what was happening, was there was some kind of a choke or something here. There was some kind of something here, but even though Mark didn't tap, this guy was like, done, we're done. The ref thought he heard a snoring sound, which counts as a verbal tap. Okay. Yeah. Help, I'm suffering trying to get him to scissor sweep. Yeah. And that's why I call this a white belt thing, is because what you see here is you got a big butt over here. All of his weight is forward. None of his weight is here at all. So it's real easy for Mark in this case to get his legs in and either butterfly sweep or scissor sweep, or do any other kind of sweep that he could. He could flower sweep from this position depending on what's going on with his upper body. He could do so many different things because this guy's weight is so far forward. It's committed so far forward, and he doesn't have anything to post with since he's trying to Ezekiel choke. Basically, an Ezekiel choke is I can show you this. I can show you this because I have a coat somewhere. Let me grab my hoodie actually. So, And when people say gi jujitsu is not realistic for the street, they're an idiot. You can automatically discount their view on self-defense because there's so many different things you can do with a jacket that you're wearing or a jacket that somebody else is wearing, you know? In this case, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I trust this. So I don't know if I would do this move that I'm about to show you with a jacket like this, but I have other coats and other winter jackets that I 1,000,000% would do this with. So an Ezekiel choke is there's somebody's head here. What you're going to do is you're going to put your arm behind their head. So this is their head. This is where your arm is. You want to get it underneath the neck. Then, excuse me, jeez. You're going to grab the inside of your own coat. You're going to make a fist. You're going to come around over the top, on top of their neck, and you're going to drive that fist in. So what you're doing is there's a hole here. You're closing the hole, okay? Closing the hole like that. I was going to try and make a joke. I was going to be like something that a lot of women could benefit from, but I couldn't think of one that was wittier than just saying that. But that's what was going on. Now, the issue with this is even though it's a really good choke to pull on someone, if you don't do it the right way, you're going to be in a situation where your arms are tied up. And if you roll that way or that way, it's going to be harder for you to post, meaning to put an arm out to stop you from being rolled over, right? And again, this is a very white belt kind of move. To try an Ezekiel choke from the guard like that. It typically is not going to work because of that fact, you know? But it's something you can do, you know? Oh man, your internet went out, Cavalog. That fucking sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that one. Sorry to hear that one, sir. That is awful. But yeah, get zucked, says Benjamin Young, of course. Somebody said David Hideo said break down a Kimbo Slice fight. I mean, I don't know what fight to break down is kind of the issue. It's like I suppose. Hold on. I'm curious about this. Let's see this, right? Michael Ikanis, the most feared combat instructor in history. We'll go ahead, we'll go back, right? Because I think it'll of course. I wanted to see what this is. This is a podcast that I watch to talk about that talks about like right-wing honeypot shit. But this said the Pentagon feared him was the thing, the thumbnail. So I'm curious about it all. I'm curious about it.
Star and the Purple Heart, after being left for dead in a Vietnamese jungle moments after saving his entire squad. 10 years later, the Navy's elite, the SEALs, who had been impressed by him in a magazine interview, knock on his door desperately asking him to train them. And a few months later, the wreckage of a small plane is found floating in a Nicaraguan lake after a mysterious explosion in midair. Today, in the time it takes you to drink a coffee, you'll discover why the name Michael Ikanis, a man of Basque descent, still sends chills down the spine of veterans, martial arts masters, and spies across 3 continents.
If you're taking suggestions, should go Mick Leahy versus Sugar Ray Robinson. Potentially, we might do that. We might do that.
Manual and whispers in your ear.
We got a little over 10 minutes. This was gonna be a quick one today anyway because it was just a chill stream. You know, so I don't know how we're gonna end, but we'll see if this gets any better, and we'll go ahead. You know,
be careful. The Pentagon banned it for being too lethal. Now imagine.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, they didn't. No, they fucking didn't. Get out of here. That is one of the sure signs. Again, just like when I said that whenever a jujitsu guy is like, well, gi jujitsu isn't actually that useful for the street. Just like I said, you should disregard anybody who says that kind of thing. I don't care who they are. I don't care what tournaments they've won. They don't know anything about self-defense if they don't see the merit of knowing how and where to grab somebody's clothing and when, you know. But another thing is when somebody says, dude, the army banned it because it was too lethal. The Pentagon banned it because it was too lethal. It's too lethal. You think they don't want their soldiers to know how to kill people as best they can? What are you, stupid? Get out of here. And that's what every bullshit martial arts instructor says is like, well, MMA is a sport. You can't rely on a sport in the street because street is life or death. As if I couldn't poke somebody in the eye a lot better than somebody else could. When what I do is I learn how to measure distance and throw a punch that is going to fully extend and land on somebody's face. And all they do is stand in front of fucking whatever. If they do any training, they stand in front of a heavy bag going, the two very different things. One of them is better than the other, you know? I expect those kinds of people to sell me nunchucks afterwards. That's exactly like that's, yeah, like it's the type of shit you would see in the back of a comic book. That's what this is comic book martial arts shit is what it is, you know? It's really weird. It's really stupid, you know? Sorry, one sec. I'm just checking Twitter. I'm checking Twitter over here. Fuck it. Joshua Fabia claims he taught Diego Sanchez an instant kill move that was basically like a WWE neckbreaker. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. But yeah, like somebody said to break down a Kimbo Slice fight. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what I could do. I don't know what I could break down in a Kimbo Slice fight. There isn't a whole lot to go on in terms of specifically his old backyard fights. You know, like this is a guy with very little boxing training who is taking on dudes that have even less boxing training. Is really all this is, you know? Like you see he jumps back. Oh, yeah. It's not Oh, are you kidding me? Is that Mikey Ice? The salad. Oh, that's an Adult Swim thing. I was like, what the fuck is the salad mixer? Yeah. So here's one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I saw D and then EAD, and I thought it said dickhead. Like I just glanced. I glanced for a second, and I was like, huh? You see again, like 6'2", 260, 6 foot, 240. He's fighting a dude with a 20-pound weight advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. A 2-inch reach advantage is not, or height advantage anyway, which means there probably is a reach advantage. A 2-inch height advantage is not negligible. What's worse though is the 20-pound weight disparity. You know. Kimbo Slice made it on Tough only to get smothered by Roy Nelson. You see, like, the thing about Kimbo Slice, I will say, is that according to my coach, who was a training partner of the one guy to beat Kimbo in one of his underground fights. There's a video that goes around. It's probably Kimbo's most famous backyard fight, if I'm being honest with you. It's the one fight that he lost against a guy who I actually knew. Everybody in New England knew him. It's not like I was special. His name was Sean Gannon. Really nice guy. Really, like, just a solid dude. You know, he was a Boston cop. The nicest guy. He unfortunately passed away in 2021. And, the most the most um the most not the most popular, but like one of the most popular videos on my channel is my coach telling the story of that fight. But according to everybody who knew Kimbo, he was the nicest guy. Everybody who met Kimbo, he was the nicest guy. My coach says the same thing. Sean Gannon said the same thing, and he was actually a student of the game, so he really had the respect of a lot of people. You know, a lot of people really did respect him, and talk kindly about him. You know, um, so I mean, there's that. You know, but one thing I will say, right, is you see the head movement, right? It's very back and forth. He doesn't lead with his head necessarily, but you can see he's got really decent head movement. He's you know, he's got that forward pressure. It's like I said, this is a guy who, again, this is a guy who again, this is a guy who barely boxes versus a guy who does not box at all. So it's kind of like I don't know what we expect. I have always liked Kimbo's head movement, though. I'll say that much. In any of his boxing matches, the way he moves his head, the way he's able to kind of slip punches and stuff like that, it is really really nice. It is really cool to see. You know, um, is Trayvon out there? Yeah, Trayvon smoked PCP by the bins 5 minutes ago. He'll go on with Kimbo, pretty much. Yeah, you know. High Ecuador says it just looked like generic background actors for a black barbecue. Pretty much, yeah, yeah, you know. Um, Imagine your fighter name is Dickhead and you just beat the fuck out of everyone, dude. That's. I'm gonna. Nah, actually, I don't even want to make that joke. I don't even want to make that joke. When I'm in the car alone, and it's just me and my wiretap, I'll sit here and I'll just think of the dumbest fucking shit. I'll be like, dude, when I fight again, my nickname is gonna be the shooter. Except there's a little bit more to the joke. There's a little bit more to the joke. If you understand what I'm saying, you know. I think of like dumbass shit like that. I'm not gonna do, but you know, um, dude, that's gonna be my fight name, Scott the Shooter. It's like holy, ooh. But yeah, man. Um, what did Cavalog suggest? What did Cavalog suggest? Um, oh, I liked Kimbo's early backyard fights because he was clearly just fighting anybody. Like he'd come out jacked and shit, and his opponent would be some drunk black guy with dreads. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi Ecuador. That's kind of what I was talking about too. You know, just two dudes trying to push through each other. I would assume you're talking about the Leahy guy versus whoever else. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Mick Leahy versus Sugar Ray Robinson. Uh, this is a 2 minute. Yeah, I mean, I see this one right here. You know, we'll go ahead. We'll take a look at it though. Oh, Sugar Ray outpointed. Oh shit. Oh shit. Sugar Ray lost to a white boy. Oh man. He lost an unseasoned chicken and shit. Oh. That white boy walking out with the bagpipes and shit. Oh man. Hey yo, Sugar Ray just lost his black card. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Yes. So see, clinching was a lot more accepted back in the day when these guys were fighting. It was a much more clinch friendly rule set, and I think that made for better fights overall. something that I've been talking about for a while, and I really am only just was that fucking Eminem? Is that yo? Is that the real Slim Shady? Yo, what the fuck? Anyway, something I've been talking about for a while, right? And I only just now started to kind of like find words to describe certain things that I have or certain ideas that I have about everything is that when you make a rule set, you are always going to favor a certain kind of play style in anything, no matter what, right? And this is not a bad thing in and of itself. If you want to have a purely grappling match, you're going to have to impose a rule set that only allows you to have a pure grappling match. That's just the way that it is, right? So because of that, one of the rules is going to be no punching, kicking, elbowing, kneeing, or striking of any kind. Now, as good as it is when it comes down to trying to impose a certain game onto people who are going to partake in a fight or any other activity for that matter, it can sometimes become ridiculous and almost a parody of itself. And even if it's not a parody of itself, what it's going to do when you impose these other rules is it's going to take away certain metas and replace it with certain other metas. And it's going to favor people who are more suited for that meta. And that's why boxing is the way that it is today. You don't see many really gritty, just brawling, punching dudes the way you used to anymore. I mean, who were some of the last guys that you can remember who were like that? Mickey Ward in like the 2000s or something like that. Arturo Gatti was one of those guys. He was down to bang. He was down to really throw too. Since I happen to mention Mickey Ward, I don't know of many, if any, guys in the boxing world today that are really that down to just get in the center of the ring and start throwing ham hocks. It's just it's not something that really exists anymore. And the reason for that is a few different things, but one of the big ones is that the rule set that has been imposed on boxing favors more slick, speed based, combination based boxing, more angulation, more quick twitch, more reaction, more everything that we consider Floyd Mayweather to be the best for. That's one of the reasons why Floyd Mayweather is the best, is because under this rule set, he was able to succeed very, very well because he was suited for it. He was suited for metas that fall under legal in this rule set. Now, someone like Rocky Marciano, someone like but someone like these guys, I mean, I'm not saying that they couldn't have some success under the current meta if they just learned how to fight a different way. But the thing is, this is how they're comfortable with fighting. They're a little bit more natural fighting this way. It's a little bit more comfortable for them. So because of that, if you took these guys and put them in today's boxing, you'd be in a situation where, yeah, they might not do as well. And a lot of people think that just comes down to people getting better, but it's not. It comes down to the game being different. I mean, look at these guys. They're in killer shape, both of them. They're both in really good shape, especially Sugar Ray over here, right? But the rule set would not allow them to fight like this. So because of that, if they brought this skill set, if they brought these skill sets into modern boxing, the referee would be breaking them every 5 seconds. They'd be scolding. He'd be scolding them. He'd be taking points away. He might even DQ somebody for excessive grabbing, excessive dirty boxing and things like that, you know? It's just it's something that, like, I can understand certain moves. I can understand when something is bad for the game, and because of that, you want to take it out. But you have to be extremely, extremely careful because you might think you're improving the game, but what you're actually doing is making the game even worse. I think MMA, truthfully, would have been better without the cage. If I'm just being completely honest with you, you didn't have fence huggers in Pride. You had guys who would lay and pray, yeah, sure, whatever. But I mean, that's just because what are you going to do? Remove the ground? That's not going to work. You're not allowed to be on the ground. It's like then it's just kickboxing, then, isn't it? But when it comes to like hugging against the cage and things like that, or rule sets that favor guard pulling in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you create a situation where, yeah, there's going to be people who have success, but they really only have the level of success they do because they have they have they've optimized themselves for that meta. And that's where you see guard pullers. That's where guard pulling comes into play in the jiu-jitsu world. And arguing against anything like that is always going to be considered to be coping or just being a sore loser or something like that, no matter how correct the person is about what they're saying. Because at the end of the day, you're arguing against success. So it's too easy to just be like, yeah, well, I think you're just mad that you're not as good as that guy. When that's not the case. I mean, yeah, like that guy might be a better grappler than me, but the way he's winning violates the spirit of the game. And it creates a situation where it becomes almost like a parody of itself. And this is where that parody thing comes back into play, where you have dudes, they walk up, they slap hands, fist bump, bump, they sit down immediately. Bump, they both sit down. Bump, they both sit down. You've seen those clips of dudes sit down, get up, sit down, get up, sit down, get up. They're both doing it almost like it's some weird Indian interpretive dance. Like we're in some Middle Eastern country and you hear, and these dudes are like both together, holding hands too, and one of them, by the way. There was an episode of King of the Hill. I was binging King of the Hill recently because of the new season, and I got to that episode where Bobby takes a women's self-defense class and he learns to win fights by kicking dudes in the nuts. Now, obviously, it's a very successful way to win a fight. He won tons of fights there. He was kicking dudes in the nuts left and right, in the left and right nuts for that matter. But it was a really weird and almost dishonorable way. It was not a respectable way to win. So even though he was having success, and even though people were a little like afraid of him, they didn't want to mess with him, it was still kind of a situation where like everyone was like, yo, that guy's kind of a bitch, you know? Like, wow, that guy's kind of a piece of shit. Fuck that guy, you know? And no matter what anyone said to Bobby, though, he wouldn't change because it was working for him. And that's kind of what the guard pullers are. Is they're the guys who they learn to win by kicking dudes in the nuts, yelling, "That's my purse, I don't know you," yelling that. And anyone who tries to be like, "Hey, dude, that's kind of fucking gay. You shouldn't do that, dude. Stop that." They're gonna be like, what? You're just jealous because I could leg lock you." And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm really not. I just think you're cheapening the sport. And that is like probably the best way, unless I wrote a script, that I could put the whole guard pulling thing, the whole metas ruin sports, the whole excessive rules ruin sports, specifically combat sports thing. That's probably one of the best ways that I could put it, you know? But yeah, it's bonkers, dude. It's fucking bonkers, kid. It's fucking bonkers. They got to bring back headbutts and grabbing the cage. Yeah, I think grabbing the cage would be good. I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed to grab the cage. And I do think headbutts would be a good thing. I really do think headbutts would be a good thing, you know? Sugar Ray was leaving his peak here and entering his golden age. That's one of the reasons it's a controversial fight, but it was... But the was... But though was built for it for sure. But he was built for it for sure. Oh, excuse me. It ain't right, but it ain't right, but I never loses. Like pretty much, yeah. You know, that's how I feel. Like, oh man, I got two. I got two cavities filled today, and one of them hurts. One of them fucking hurts, and it just started hurting like not even 5 minutes ago. Like literally just now, it started hurting. Hope it's gonna be okay. You know, I was nervous. I want to finish this point, right? That's how I feel about castle dropping in AoE, and we'll play a quick game of AoE to cap this night off. But that's how I feel about castle drops in AoE. You guys see that I utilize castle dropping now, and it's my main method of winning. I don't like it though. I don't think I should be allowed to win that way. I'm not going to start winning with that move and be like, aha, yeah, that's right. fear me and my castle drop. No, I'm going to remain consistent on it because I think it cheapens the game. But at the elo that I'm at, I'm starting to get guys that are not completely and totally trash. You know, they're only partially trash. So if I'm going to win, I have to fucking do it, you know? It's frustrating, it's annoying, it's stupid, you know? Uh all celebrities are vampires who feast on the blood of children. It's not uncommon to see them in films and pictures or paintings from hundreds of years ago. Yes, it would not surprise me one bit. Hi, Ecuador. Honestly, hey, fucking, I believe anything at this point, man. You know, I believe anything at this point. Fucking, fuck it, sure. You know, um, what I was saying is they fucked up three of my teeth, right? And then they wanted me to pay $300 out of pocket for it. And unfortunately, I have to because, like, I got to get these cavities filled. I eat way too much sugar. And I haven't been to the dentist in years, so I have like a handful of cavities that I need filled. But they fucked up three of my teeth that they filled cavities on, and it still hurts 3 weeks to a month later. I went in there and I got them ground down twice, two times, and they might have to just straight up redo them. I might have to call them up and be like, hey, the pain is not going away. We need to take care of this, and they're gonna have to redo them for me. And if they try to fucking charge me for it, I'm gonna flip a fucking table because I haven't been able to chew on this side. And then they did a couple more cavities on this side, both on the bottom, you know? So it's like, okay, now it's harder to chew on this side for a little while. I think these cavities are going to be okay. They don't feel that fucked up right out the gate, but I'm like nervous where it's like, fuck, am I not going to be able to chew? Am I going to be on a liquid diet? What the fuck is going on, you know? I like a good castle drop, but I play Franks a lot. Yeah. The Franks are a good civ to castle drop with. The Franks are a good civ to castle drop with because their throwing axemen, they have recently been buffed. So that's really good for people who like to do that kind of thing. I've been looking forward to playing Morrowind all weekend, but I don't wanna get in I don't wanna hop in right away, you know? Hop in right away. Geez, 1,205 hours I've played. Man. But yeah, I don't want to I don't want to hop into Morrowind. You know, I don't want to hop into Morrowind right away. You know, right away at the end of my stream is what I was talking about. You know, we're gonna play one game. Hopefully, I get a good a good castle. What the fuck? A good map. You know, I'd rather have Glade or Arena than either of these two. You know, and anything with fucking even mega random with the potential to get Nomad, I'm like, no, get that away from me. Get that the fuck away from me. I do not want it. You know? I want to do a I want to do a 24-hour stream. I just don't know what or where I'm going to do it. I barely get viewers on YouTube anymore. I haven't even cracked 100 total viewers for this stream, you know? Like that's what happens with me sometimes now is like every now and again I have kind of a shitty stream in terms of viewership and a shitty stream for me is less than 100 views or like around 100 views, you know? If I'm not even getting that many views on YouTube, I don't know how I'm gonna go over to Twitch and not only have one or two viewers maximum for the entire time that I'm streaming, you know? So it's like I'm between a rock and a hard place with this stream that I want to do. I really want to do a 24-hour stream. I really want to play some Fallout 2 or like something else, you know? I want to be here all night with you guys. I really enjoyed that last year. It was really really fun. Um Hold on. Gin Manster Gin Manster blind person. Jin Manster blind person. I would, but they said they do not want me on the site. And the reason they gave is that I am affiliated with production. I don't know how much I believe that is the reason. It would not surprise me if they just don't want me on the site for, some personal reason or whatever. I don't know. But regardless of that, like, whatever. That's their business. The bottom line is I'm not going to be on the site. It sucks. It is what it is, though, and that's the thing. That's why I used to save the 24-hour streams for Fish Tank specifically, because with Fish Tank, I show speed is in fucking Boston. Really, I'm actually gonna be in Boston soon. Where in Boston is this guy? What is there to fucking do in Boston? What is there to do in Boston? I should pull up and press him. I should press him. I should beat up his bodyguard and be like, "You hiring?" Nah, but jokes aside, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Like, I used to save those 24-hour streams for the Fish Tank site because it was easier to get people to watch on that site, and to donate as well. It's nice to get donations on my 24-hour stream. And then in addition to that, I also had other shit I could do. I could watch YouTube videos with you guys and not be worried about copyright, I could watch fucking movies and TV shows with you guys if I wanted to. So it's like I'm kind of in a position right now, and the reason why I'm telling you guys, right? The reason why I'm telling you guys this is not to complain. It's just to explain to you what's on my mind, and if you guys have any suggestions as to what I could do, whether it's like where or how I should stream, or if it's a situation where what's it called? Or if it's a, geez, I feel like I screamed that. Or if it's a situation where you have an idea of what I could do on YouTube that would not get me in trouble. Like any one of those. You gotta fight him, Scott. I will. I fucking will. I'll fight him good. I'll fight him a lot. No, fuck that. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite. Oh, jeez, get over there. That was one of my favorite quotes from I Am the Baddest of Them All, from Froggy Fresh, Krispy Kreme. He was like, "I'll fight you a lot." Kick has no DMCA. You see, like and that's the thing. That was my first thought. Was like either A, Kick, or B, Twitch. But the thing is, nobody follows me on Twitch or Kick. Like there's a couple of people who will tune in on Twitch. A couple of people, and I really appreciate those people. If any of you are here right now, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. But like that's kind of the point of what I'm trying to. That's kind of the point that I'm trying to make is like, I don't want to do a 24-hour stream for what will be 2, maybe 3 people in the first hour, and then eventually people have to go to bed, so I'm streaming to literally nobody. That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's what I don't want. And that's what Fish Tank, the website, was a guarantor of, because there's always somebody on the Fish Tank site. You could go in there at 13 o'clock, and there's going to be a few hundred people in there, and they will watch you. Even if they hate you, they'll fucking hate watch you, and they'll say funny shit in the, they'll say funny shit too. They'll at least make you laugh, I can appreciate even some of the mean stuff. If it's funny, I can appreciate it, Like whoever thought up Suck Sullivan is fucking hilarious. I love the hell out of that one. I can remember. I still remember when somebody first told me about that. I was like, oh shit, that's fantastic, There we go. I hate to be this guy, but I'm having to reluctantly do the same. Sorry, just trying to make sure. I hate to be this guy, but I'm having to reluctantly do the same with my own pages I'm trying to monetize, not this YouTube, but ride waves. If there's any new game popping off that people are mad about, try it. If there's something that you see others doing, don't be afraid to also do it. Sometimes it's just a big old fuck it, it'll get views. Yeah, and my issue with that is that I don't know what's going on. I don't have it's not that I don't have the attention span, but like I don't even know who to pay attention to, if I'm being completely and totally honest with you, to figure out what that current trend would be. So if there was like a trend that I could hop on to get more views, specifically ones that were not directly fish tank related, because that would be the best option for me. That's what Greg is trying to do. He's trying to build his own thing, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. Like, if I wanted to continue to do this in the future, if I had it in me to continue doing it, if I was not too busy or too preoccupied with other shit, then that's the way that I would want it done. That's the way I would have to get it done, you know? Bang, bang, bang. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I can get enough people to watch me on Kick, we won't say nothing crazy, but the entire fish tank IP is being railroaded right now, and small decisions like that are all part of why. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to do too much complaining. I don't think Nico is still here, and I'm not angry at him or anything like that. But when I saw that clip of me, when I saw that clip of me on his channel, I was like, oh boy, I can only imagine how this is going to be taken, you know? And that's why I was quick to comment. As soon as it was brought to my attention that he made that video, I was like, oh, I better fucking say something, because I don't want this to turn into something that I didn't intend for it to turn into, you know? If I'm being honest with you, yeah, I might have did it a little bit to apply some pressure to see if I could actually get an answer. Yeah, if I'm being honest, that is part of the reason why I did it. Because I was being left on red, and people were saying, yeah, we'll figure it out, but there was nothing, there was no developments, you know? Oh, come on, baby, yes. Wait, fuck, damn it. Oh, shit, damn it. Ah, well. Damn, that fucking sucks, dude. Shit. Here, and then 1, 2. No, you gotta go over there, though. Apparently you're going over there. What was the clip, and who the fuck is Nico? So, I don't know if you were here, High Ecuador. You've missed some of my streams lately. I'll never forgive you. But, I don't know if you were here for that stream specifically, but, a couple of streams ago, I vented a little bit about how I was frustrated that nobody was getting back to me about streaming on the fish tank site. There's a guy, Nico, NICO _ I think it's like ACHD or something like that. I'm sorry, Nico, but I forget exactly what his like the letters in his name was, but he clipped it and he put it on his channel, and it got like a little over 1,000 views. Nothing like insane or anything like that. It's not like it was like a groundbreaking video, but it got enough views as to where people were like, oh, and Scott's pissed off at Jet, Sam, and Ben, and it's like, well, you know, I just want to avoid situations where there's drama, and I want to avoid situations where certain things may be either taken out of context or misunderstood, you know? The context of that was that I just wanted a fucking answer about my streaming so that I could pivot, you know? Oh, boy. Yep. This ain't good. This is not good. He is way ahead of me right now. And it's because I'm playing like a fucking Mong. It's because I'm playing like a Mong, you know? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go here, and then here. And then, this is gonna be stupid as fuck. There's no way I'm gonna be able to actually make this work. I am not gonna make this work. This is not gonna work. No, you fucking idiot. What is this fucking guy doing? What is this? What? Okay, well, See, if I can just build... Oh, yeah. Yeah, these Shotel warriors are pretty strong. I'm not gonna... It's not gonna work out. It's definitely not gonna work out. Unless maybe... Nah. Yeah, it ain't gonna work out. Ah, well. Oh, well. Damn. Diggity damn. The only thing I can hope for is that maybe I will be able to get my ass back here, and then... Alright. So, everybody build a castle. You guys gonna come here. Luckily, the Shotel warriors are very weak in turn. Oh, huh, interesting. But they're not going to be able to do enough damage, is the thing. Let's get over to here. I should have thought about that in a different way. Yeah, it ain't gonna work out. Stop distancing Scott. Hi, Ecuador. I preferred when you weren't here. Actually, lock in. Stop reading chat. I mean, it's a little late for this one. I can play another one quick. You know. I think I might actually be good too, given the situation that I'm in here. He has to do a lot to. Fuck it. All right, so we need a few here. We need. You guys get your ass over here. Need 2 here. Need some more there. All right. You know what? Send them there. Alright, so this is either gonna work. You know what? There's a good chance he doesn't have too much over there, so if I roll wondering how this could work, potentially. I'm hoping that what's gonna happen is he's gonna focus on here. Like, yeah, that's a real pain in the ass what he's doing there. That fucking sucks, but I'm hoping that maybe I can trick him. Maybe I can do something. You see, it'd be nice if I had 4 of these, but I'm in a position where I don't want to use too much, you know? I'm already not doing that well in the... fuck. Damn, he got me. Damn. There's no point. There's no fucking point. I'm just gonna... Yeah. You see? Alright, so what I'm gonna have to hope and pray is that I can get these guys back here quick enough that they will be safe behind the wall. Those Shotel warriors are quick is the issue. And that's what I'm worried about. Oh. So, at the very least here, I can... 1, 2, 3, 4... make a Oh, I see, okay. See, so what I'm hoping is I can knock this thing down. If I can knock down that forward castle, I'll actually be in really good shape. And all things considered, I got a pretty good head start on it. Not only did I get a pretty good head start on it, but he's trying to fucking Vil swarm my shit. Which is not good on his part. Him trying to Vil swarm me implies that he does not have much in the way of any kind of, anything to attack with, you know? Oh, man. Oh, man, this is not good. Damn, that's not good. Oh, well. At least I can take out his Vils. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Take it easy. Take it fucking easy. Damn. Alright. I wanna see if I can't push him one last time. Chances are it's not gonna work out. You know, those Shoto warriors are not very good. Like they're powerful, but they're not good in terms of the their damn. Again, like I hate it when I lose because I'm not locked in. That's literally all that it was. I just did not lock in, and because of that, I let him get to castle way before I did, you know? He still probably would have got to castle before me, but I would have been at least halfway to castle age by the time he got there, you know? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, everybody. And you know what else? You know what I think I'm going to do instead? I think I'm going to go with my original plan. I should be making more fucking Vils. That's another piece of my issue here. Wondering if I can get some of those, because if I can get more gold, I can buy more shit, which means I can make more Vils quicker, you know? Then at the very least, I'm good on that front. If I can break in and do enough damage here, though, then I will actually not be in the worst shape, you know? And I'm actually starting to come back, you know? Oh, he's almost up to Imp, though. When he gets to Imp, it's all over. Like, I'm just gonna quit right then. Unless I can do enough damage to him, in which case, then fine, whatever, you know? But I'm probably not gonna be able to, truth be told. Well, useless. Fucking useless over here. Bada bing, bada boom. We're in. So yeah, again, you see I'm kind of gaining on him in terms of the thing. In terms of the thing. The score. Oh, you can't see that I'm gaining on him, is the issue, because my shit is in that corner, not the other corner. Also, if I can destroy... If I can destroy the TC that was... Oh. There is no... Huh. Whereas all... You know what? He probably put a TC somewhere in this area here. But whatever, I'm gonna see what I can take. Wow, you see what's happening right now. Hold up. You see what's happening right now, right? My score is above his now, which means I'm winning score-wise. That's good for me. That's really good for me, you know? I took down 2 of his TCs, and did he, like, disconnect or something like that? Or he's just planning something big. He's planning something huge, I guarantee it, you know? Well. In that case. Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely not great for me, but I know a way that I can get around that. What's up? Oh, that was rude. That was rude. How rude. That was really rude, man. You're a rude dude, you know that? You're a really rude dude. If that's all he's got, military... Well, we're going to get that. We're also going to get that, and then that, too. If that's all he's got military-wise, then I'm actually in, like, really, really good shape, you know? Like, I'm tearing down buildings that he's going to have to rebuild if he wants them. It's not going to work out very well for him. I have, you know what? I should probably... Oh, damn. I don't even have that. Ooh, yeah. I should set up a blacksmith ASAP. Try my best to... What I'm going to do is I'm going to fake like I'm headed this way, and then hopefully when I'm out of range, I'll be able to send him over to there. Yeah, dude, he's got what, 7 of those guys? I have, what, 6 or 7 of them? Ah, man, yeah. Not good. Definitely not good. Still, though, it's pretty crazy that I have the amount of points on him that I have, you know? I'm gonna have to really, really buckle it down. And then I'm also gonna put this here just in case. I could always use another one of these. One evening fair, as the sun was shining, to Kilkenny I did ride. I did meet with Captain Brady, a tall commander by his side. And you are welcome, Highland Paddy. By my side you'll surely stand. Hear the people shout for freedom. We'll rise in the morning with the Fenian band. Rise in the morning with the Fenian band. In the morning we rose early, just before the break of dawn. Blackbirds singing in the bushes, greeting to a smiling morn. Gather round me, men of Ireland. Gather, Fenians, gather round. Hand to hand with sword and musket, spill our blood upon this holy ground. And you are welcome, Highland Paddy. Come on. Whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm just trying to create as much trouble for him as I can. Well, that sure was useful. Alright, well, in that case, I guess I better get back here, because he's going to try his best to build something there. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah, sure. I'll take that. Perfect. So yeah, I mean, this is obviously a nail biter right now. There's no guarantees anywhere, you know. I mean, it's definitely not looking great for him. You know what I might do? Scott singing Irish tunes would be the ideal playlist while I deck Will I deck the entire road out? Oh boy. Our police commissioner wouldn't rule out taking down Irish flags, and the left is launching an attack on the Irish tricolor right now, just like in England, heading to town tomorrow to bulk buy flags. Good for you, man. Good for you. Just remember, no face, no case. That's a real thing. No face, no case. You know? Don't get bopped. You know, don't get bopped doing something that there isn't even an issue with, you know? Oh, yes, get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Everybody in, everybody in, everybody in, everybody in, yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's kind of what I need, actually. Dude, why is nobody going after this guy? Why is nobody going after this guy? Wow, that was stupid. That was really dumb. Go, 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 go. Alright. Again, like, I shouldn't be doing as well as I am. You know, there's no reason why he should be an imp right now. We need 24-hour Irish singing stream, Scott. Yeah, Highland Patty's my favorite, you know. It's a real, like, it's, in my opinion, it's one of the underrated songs. Whether it's a rebel song or not, it's definitely one of the underrated songs. One of the underrated Irish songs. Like, for sure, you know. Of course, here we go. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm starting to get a little bored. If one of these attacks doesn't destroy that thing soon, I'm probably just going to call it. I'm also going to go there and here. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, whatever. You know, you want to do that? Fine by me. Ooh, okay. You see, like, this is another thing that I think is bullshit. This is kind of like the scum-sucking way of winning. Where it's like, there's no actual, like, what's this guy doing? He's building fucking, he's building shit. That's all he's doing. You know? Like, this guy can't even put me away. He's just not... What the fuck? Oh, okay. It's just like, it gets to a point where it's like, whatever, bro. I don't got that kind of time on my hands, you know? I'm gonna see if I can't take this thing down, and if I can take it down, I'll keep going. If not, it's like, whatever, bro. You wanna win via bullshit tactics. Building shit to keep me out. Whatever, bro. Do it. Go ahead. Take the fucking win. I couldn't care less. You know? Even that, it's like, you see what's happening right now. Oh, I don't even have a market anymore. Might help to make one of those, huh? I'll see what I can do with the market, you know? Other than that, it's like... Yeah. You know? Alright. So we're getting closer and closer to being able to go into Imp. I'm going to launch a big attack, and then I'm going to try to go into Imperial. No, Scott, type in the chat. Oh, there I can go. No shit. I could have just gone that way the entire time. Like, how is this dude not won yet, is what I want to know. Like, if I get to Imp, I'm just immediately going to start trebbing the fuck out of him, and there's going to be nothing he can do, because I can do it from the safety of my castles. Of my castle. Excuse me. Like, if he loses, it's like, man. Like, I just, now that I'm almost halfway to Imperial, I just want to see if I can get to Imp. And if I can, I'll do it. But it's like, shit, man. This is bad. This is fucking bad for you, dude. It's like, he's not gonna get the... Unless he comes out with something big, which he's not. He's just holding position right now. Unless he comes out with something big, he's not gonna win unless I'm like, dude, I don't have infinite time. Just take the fucking W. I don't care that much, you know? You see, like, okay, fine, there's a fucking Treb. Whatever. I'll see if I can't, you know, see if I can't take that thing down. I probably won't be able to. Whatever. Yeah, fuck it. Let's see what I can do. Again, how long has it taken him to get this win? Like I said, unless he came with something crazy. Something crazy in this case was 2 Trebs. And even then, I'm waiting for my own Trebs to come out. If I can knock that down, I'm in good shape. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, though. Because again, like, he abandoned his entire fucking outpost to set up shop here. If I can take this down, he's fucked. There isn't really much he's going to be able to do. Yeah. Like, look at this. This is the most convoluted shit. Like, I'm not gonna win via having a better army or better tactics. I'm gonna win via the meta, and that's exactly what I was talking about, and that's what I complain about ad nauseum. You know, building 3 houses to box me out so I can't take this thing down. Building these to box me out so that it's a lot harder for my Trebs to be able to take them down. Like, this guy sucks. He's not good at the game. I was multitasking while I was playing this, and he still barely fucking eked it out. And what? He deserves that win? No, he doesn't. He doesn't deserve this win. I deserve the win, you know? But it's like I said, you know, people aren't interested in changing metas because the people who watch, they don't care that much. They just want to be entertained. The people who play, well, if they're winning via the meta, why would they want to change a winning formula? You know? It's just stupid, though. Fucking, this guy hasn't said a word. I wonder if I muted him a while ago. Yeah, no, apparently not. He's just mute for some reason. Fucking, whatever. What? Oh, no, wrong one. Jeez. You know what? You know what? You know what? Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But when I find somebody to be very annoying, I don't even want to take the chance of them being able to talk shit to me. So whether they do or don't, I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna fucking mute this person so that when we play again, if there is a situation like that, I'm not gonna have to deal with them dropping ones on me. But when I call them a slur, I get banned. You can make fun of people using numerics in this game, but the second you drop a slur, all of a sudden you're getting fucking banned from chat. You know, it's stupid. But anyway, yeah. If his Steam profile has a flag, you say I'm booking a ticket online to X right now. Yeah, that's funny as shit. Um, but yeah, anyway, oh, we won't get into political shite this late, but a bunch of Irish music acts turned against all of their fans recently, so I don't know if we'll have any good music for another few years. Stick with the old stuff. Oh yeah, because the issue with Irish nationalism is that it was a left wing issue for a lot of people outside of Ireland. For a lot of the people in Ireland, it was just an issue of Irish nationalism. It wasn't even 100% like Catholic, Protestant, um, socialism, capitalism, or anything like that. And I made a fool of myself talking to an old IRA guy. I got an Uber once from a guy from Ireland. And I asked him because he was about that age. I was like, "So were you ever involved in anything?" And he was kind of like, "Well, I was involved in some stuff, yeah." He didn't want to get into specifics for obvious reasons. Now, could he have been bullshitting? I don't know, but like, I would trust his opinion on at least the idea behind Irish independence, Irish nationalism, and all that stuff. Now, what happened with millennials is they swung very, very hard to the left. I believe this is your left, it's my right, but you know what I mean. They swung very hard to the left, and a lot of Irish nationalism, including stuff regarding Ulster, the 6 counties, it became a thing that was on the same plane as like Palestinian liberation and workers of the world unite and all that other bullshit. Like, even a lot of Irish people misunderstood what it was about in the first place. And I mean, Cavalog, you'd be more of an expert than I am. This is just what I've learned from talking to people and looking into the topic. There were IRA factions that were straight up fucking commies. Even the Provo IRA and Sinn Féin were always socialist, but a lot of people weren't joining the Provo IRA or supporting the Provo IRA or any other IRA faction like the real IRA or anything like that. They weren't supporting them because they were like, yeah, workers of the world, seize the means of production, eat the rich. It wasn't that. It was because, hey, we don't like these British troops around. We don't like these Protestant Scotsmen who are masquerading as Irish coming in here trying to tell us how we're supposed to live and beating us up for it. So you're gonna like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell on my neighbor when he's resisting that, even if he's got some kooky fucking the proletariat kind of fucking ideals. Um, but like a lot of people who were born in like Gen X and millennials, they became like unabashed socialists. And because of that, they're fucking weirdos. And now Irish independence was only ever from the standpoint of anti-colonialism. It was never nationalism. It was only anti-colonialism. That's all it was. They wanted anti-colonialism and then a communist state, which they would then use to spread to anywhere else that they could. Not that they could spread it to many places, given the fact that they're an island nation cut off from the rest of Europe. But that is how commies work. I know you said you didn't want to get into politics this late, Cavalog, but like, I'm just dropping what I understand, my point of view, or my understanding of how everything seems to be going there, right? So yeah, there's gonna be like I bet the Pogues. I heard one song by the Pogues, and it was Rare Old Mountain Dew. It was with the Wolf Tones, I believe it was. They like the lead singer. I heard one. I heard the version of that they did that they collaborated on, and I was just like, I don't fucking like this guy. This this guy just sounds like a shit lib, like a shit eating leftist. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but like it wouldn't surprise me if the Pogues were a good example of that, you know? I don't really listen to any of the new guys, you know, I listen more to like the older stuff, you know, Derek Warfield, you know, um, what's it called? Liam Clancy, Tommy Makem, you know, the Wolf Tones and stuff like that, obviously. Um, you know, I like their stuff. There's a soul to it. It's not you feel that music, you know. But when it comes to any of the newer Irish bands and stuff like that, whether they're like a folk or if they're a punk or if they're like a whatever, it's like I always kind of felt like they were try harding a little too much, you know. It's like it almost felt like they were wearing a skin suit. It's like, yeah, I was born in 1985. I don't even remember the troubles like that. You know. Yeah, I was born in 1990. Yeah, I was born in 1990 in Cork. It's like, fuck, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I'm just talking shit, you know. Maybe I'm just fucking talking shit. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Um, you know, but like that's the idea that I got. And I got that understanding from making a fucking fool of myself in the first place. I want to see if I can log into my old Uber. I don't know if I want to say this guy's name. If I even have Uber downloaded, do it. Yeah, I have Uber downloaded. I'm wondering if I'm still even logged in. I believe his last name might have been Kelly. Yeah, I don't have any recent activity. I haven't ordered an Uber in years. I'm talking fucking years and years and years. Man. Oh no, fuck. Damn it. Rides apply. Yeah. You see, it only shows me recent activity. I don't have any activity that's recent, so it doesn't show me anything. But I talked to this guy, right? I told him about how I wanted to learn Irish. I was learning a little bit of Irish at the time. I know a little bit more Irish than I did back then, but not enough to be conversational. He told me that like it's not that there's no point in learning it, but like nobody uses it in Ireland. Even the places that they're like, "Oh no, that's Irish speaking." It's like you don't use it for business. You're going to conduct your business in English because it's just easier and more convenient, you know? So that's why Irish is having a hard time being reborn in Ireland, even with the programs that they have. But one of the things that he said, and I made a fucking fool of myself to him right after he said it, was he said it wasn't about Catholic Protestant, it wasn't about anything other than trying to gain independence, trying to be independent, trying to govern ourselves and have a whole nation. That's all it ever was. And like 5 seconds after he said that, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, totally, I get it." You know, I never really was a fan of the whole socialism thing because at this time I was still in the middle of the activism shit. I actually was getting back from a meetup that we had with the boys. I don't think REA was with us at that time. I think he left by that time. But I had just gotten back from a meetup with the boys, and that's when I hopped in this guy's Uber. And you know, we were big anti-communists and stuff like that. So of course I could only think in terms of anti-communism. I was like, yeah, you know, I was never a big fan of the socialism thing, but you know, I'm definitely a fan of the, you know, free Ireland thing. And he got real quiet, and I couldn't understand why. And then like after I hopped out of the car, I was like, oh, there was a moment there where it was a little bit awkward. I don't know what happened. And then I was like playing it over in my head, and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. He literally told me what it was about, and then I was like, yeah, this is what it's about. You know, silly me, but like you know, I learned from that experience. came to understand it a little bit better, because at the end of the day, like, I'm an American, you know, I'm of Irish extraction, but I don't know what it is to be Irish. I don't know what it is to be in Ireland, to live there, to experience that, you know. I don't know what it is to have to survive in modern Ireland, or to experience the culture, to live, to be immersed in the culture like that, you know. I can make as much boxty as I want. I'm actually gonna make some soon. Um, you know, I can learn Irish, I can listen to the music, but all that ever is just getting into my heritage. And even then, it's like, it's a little bit weird, because you know, my Irish heritage would be from the potato famine back. So like, all of these Irish folk songs that were written after the famine, it's like, well, I mean, my ancestors, the three or four since the original one, Michael, came here, they probably didn't know about any of that stuff, you know. You know. But like, I for the enrichment, for cultural enrichment, real, true cultural enrichment, I have gotten into Irish culture. I've even tried to get into Italian culture a little bit more as well. You know, the kind of culture that existed when my great grandparents came from Italy. You know, I tried to get into that culture as well. But especially the Irish culture, because the Irish culture has been so suppressed by not just the English, but literally even America. The American school system doesn't want you knowing about Irish culture, even though Irish culture is American culture in so many different ways, both direct and indirect. They don't want you knowing about it, because it is a nation full of proud people. It is a culture full of proud people who have affected the world in a positive way, in a quantity and a quality that most nations have not, if we're being honest here, you know. I don't know of many nations that have had the effect on the world that the Irish have had with the diaspora, and what a lot of these people did when they came to these places, you know. I mean, the Irish tricolor. I'm gonna read some of your shit, Cavalog. I'm gonna read some of your shit in a second. But you know, why don't we get an actual expert opinion? I'm gonna read your stuff in a second, but like, it was crazy to me to think that, to realize that the Irish tricolor was Thomas Francis Maher. It wasn't him exactly. What happened was, he went to France, he learned about the French Revolution, and people who were in the revolution or friendly to it, they created the Irish tricolor based off of the French tricolor, but they made it with Irish coloring, if you want to call it Irish coloring. They made it the orange, white, and green, to symbolize, what's it called? Fucking Catholics, Protestant, and then I think white was supposed to be the unity between them and stuff like that. You know, that I'm pretty sure that was the story of what the tricolor meant. But I do know the tricolor was made by French people, gifted to Thomas Maher, and he brought it back to Ireland, and it would become the Irish flag eventually, you know. And Thomas Maher would also go to Australia as a prisoner after an uprising that failed, the Young Irelanders uprising. He would escape from Australia, he would go to America, and he would lead the Irish Brigade in America in the Civil War. The Irish Brigade is one of the many reasons why the Irish were eventually accepted into America as Americans, instead of it being a weird thing where it's like, Irish need not apply, oh, you're not American, you're Irish, and all this other stuff. Because they were so well respected after the war that people were like, all right, I think they paid the blood price to get in, you know? Like, there's so many stories like that from the Irish, that's part of the reason why I take such pride in it, you know? And my ancestor is one of those stories too. Uh, Having to fucking clear Fredericksburg like that, like, yeah, sure, the Irish Brigade gets more credit a couple of days later for their charge on Marie's Heights, but the 20th Massachusetts, which got the lion's share of the credit for clearing the streets of Fredericksburg after the 7th Michigan and the 19th Massachusetts pushed into the first couple of streets, that was a mostly Irish regiment. It was over 50% Irish, and then there was also Germans in there as well, you know. But um like, knowing that my ancestor took part in that history, it's like, wow, like, that is like, like the Sullivan clan, the Sullivan bloodline through me, was a part of American history in that way. That's such a crazy thing. But like they don't want you knowing about that. They don't want you to know about the Irish in the Civil War, or the Irish that invented this or set up this town, or they were on the frontier and they cleared the Injuns out of wherever, or they laid the foundations for country western music, which includes some of the bullshit pop country from today. Okay, yes, fine, but it also includes a lot of different kinds of American folk music. Even rock and roll. It's crazy. But yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna read some of these. I'm gonna read some of these, especially the ones that Cavalog said, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I was supposed to head out an hour ago. I'm happy to have been here with you guys. Thank you all for tuning in as usual. But uh, Scott, how should I jujitsu out of a fight against a guy with a gun? I would use the high Ecuador method. I would tickle him. I'd tickle the fuck out of him. Scotty Rockers equals real IRA. Oh boy. There was actually one of the leaders of, I believe it was the real IRA, was actually an O'Sullivan. I forget his full name, but anyway. Dozens of factions even today. Essentially, they ultimately work together for a greater goal, but that didn't stop the infighting. Talking about the IRA, Cavalog is, and then he says, "I just didn't want to derail you guys." When we gained an independent Ireland, many got far too comfortable and assumed the work was done. They distracted themselves with outside issues and imported the in just like everywhere else. Yep, yep. Oh yeah, no surprise. It's disgusting. And it's awful because like I want to go to Ireland one day, and I want to go to an Ireland that is Irish. I don't want to go to an Ireland that's Somalian. I don't want to have to beat up some Muslim dude because my wife isn't wearing a burqa and we turn down the wrong street, which I will do. I'm not gonna let some fucking Arab walk up like your whore needs to dress more modestly. I'd be like, you know what? You're right. You know what? Yeah, you're right. No, but like all that joking aside, right? Like I don't want to have to deal with being accosted by people who are less Irish than I even am, even though they live there, even if they're second generation immigrant. You're never going to be Irish. You're only ever going to be Somalian. That's it. You're Somalian and you have a weird accent for a Somalian. That's all you're ever going to be. You know? Fucking woo. But yeah, like it would be a shame, the kind of shame where it would probably bring a tear to my eye, and not the kind of good tear. I already know Italy is probably gonna disappoint me. My ancestors came from a village south of Rome in Avellino. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure Avellino was south of Rome. I've seen two things. There's an explanation that says a village from the south of Rome, and then Avellino. I just want to make sure. Avellino, Italy. Yes, province of Avellino, Italy, Italia. Um, hmm. Yeah, bottom line is like, my ancestors came from southern Italy. We're true wops, we're true guineas. I can only imagine what it's gonna be like going over there and having to deal with some fucking like Syrian dude trying to tell me how things are supposed to go. I'm literally more Italian than he will ever be, than his children will ever be. I have the blood, I have the DNA running through me, even if I am an American. And even the Italians will be like, they'll put up their nose to me. They'll be like, oh, what, you think because your grandfather was Italian, you're Italian? It's like, well, no, but I'm more Italian than fucking Ahmed over there, you know? Fucking, but yeah, it's just disgusting. Well, our history has been hijacked to push messages and narratives to benefit anyone but us. Yes, that's one of the things that I can't stand, is when some fuckhead leftist is like, that red hair, you're Irish. The Irish were discriminated against. The Irish were discriminated against when they came here. You know what? Good. I'm glad they were. I'm glad they were, as they should have been. as they should have been. They were an outside group that came into the country. They were competing with the natives of the country, and they had to prove themselves via fighting in a war, sometimes against their own kin, their own people, other Irishmen. Fredericksburg is a great example of that. The regiment that was on top of Marie's Heights, the Confederates, were firing down on their countrymen, other Irishmen of the 69th, the 88th, New York, and all the other regiments in the Irish Brigade. You know, um, so they earned it in a way that some fucking dude who crossed the border pretending like he was running for his life. He left his child and wife there. His child and his child wife back in fucking Ethiopia or wherever he's at, you know. Um but he's running for his life cuz he's in danger. He's in danger. Yeah. Fucking bullshit, you know. Excuse me. Um And now, as mentioned earlier, we're at a point where they're calling the Irish tricolor a racist far right symbol. Many people whose family died for a free Ireland are now happily opposing the history. Yep, yeah, and that's the worst thing about it is knowing that there's people out there who it's like, man, like people whose ancestors fought in the American Revolution who are now like, actually, America is bad. It's like, shut the fuck up, you know, like the Michael Collins' own granddaughter, I think she is an absolute wreckhead. She went to the States and lived the tan and beach Cali life, then came back here and pushed far left pro mass immigration politics and Sinn Féin and the People's Republican Army. Oof, recently wanted to turn the GPO, the location the Easter Rising took place, into an office block. Man. It's time to take the country back, man. It's time to take the country back. I know Conor McGregor's a meme at this point, but like I think you probably would be in good shape with him comparatively. I'd like to believe you would be in good shape with him comparatively. You know, he's a meme candidate. He's probably not going to win, but you know what? It'd be pretty cool if he did. Be pretty cool if he did. You know. Oh man. Anyway, read James Joyce. James Joyce was that one of the guys from the Easter Rising? I know some of the names. I know a lot of the names because of another Irish song, and this one's actually a commie song. What's it called? In Dublin City in 1913, the boss was rich and the poor were slaves. That one. They shot McDermott and Pearson Plunkett. They shot McDonough and Clark the Brave. Um, and then James Connolly. Yeah, James Connolly was like a straight up commie though. Um, what's it called? Um, Oh, there's some communist connection between some Republican Army factions. It depends on who you're talking to, but in general, it's known they're subsects that poison the well with their own wants. Yeah, even the Easter Rising, to my understanding, was like kind of a compromise because the commies were like, "Look, we're gonna rise up and we're gonna fight on this day. You guys can come with us or not." Talking to like Pierce and like the Irish Volunteers and stuff like that, right? There was like Connolly and his like commie faction that was like, we're tired of waiting. And Pierce was like, yo, dude, we're working on something here. We got something really good that's coming up. Just fucking chill. And they were like, nah, we're not gonna. So they were like, oh, fucking shit. All right, fine, dude. Easter 1916. We'll do it then. That was like that's my understanding of the planning of the 1916 Easter Rising. Um, but yeah, it's crazy how commies just poison the well no matter what. Even if you're trying to work with them, they just fucking don't listen. They don't do things in a tactical way, in a way that makes sense. They just ruin it. They just fucking destroy it. Say what you want about the Pogues, the fact that Shane McGowan outlived Sinead O'Connor is one of the funniest things to happen in my lifetime. I don't really know that much about Shane McGowan, I'll be honest with you. It's like I said, I don't know much about the Pogues, but like just listening to the dude's voice, I could tell like this is a fuckhead who's waving a fucking Palestine flag. I guarantee it. You can just hear it in some people's voices, like that, like that, like that kind of, like that voice with the inflection that's kind of like upward sometimes, and it's not always the best. Yeah, might not want to do that. Like almost a dirtbag left podcaster voice. Like dirtbag left. I'm a loser, but it's okay. Dude, I'm so totally chill, but I'm a loser. I'll steal your weed and then help you look for it. Dude, hey, do you know where I can get some coke? Hey, do you have $50 for the coke? Dude, socialism, like that kind of guy. He struck me as kind of like an Irish version of that, just from his voice. Just like there's a phenotype. There's I forget what they call it. Fuck. What do they call it? What do they call it? When you can discern somebody's political beliefs or their propensity towards criminality via the facial structure, the structure of their face. There's almost a similar thing that you can do with somebody from the tone of voice, from the type of voice that they have. Um, that's gonna bother me, and I know one of you guys is gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, oh, duh, yeah, it is that. But anyway, it's at a point now where they don't want us knowing it here. I hate saying they, the nameless they, but I'm not going to spend 20 comments listing people and entities. You get me, but they are making huge moves right now to completely subvert and end our culture. No stress to read my ramblings. Don't worry, man. Well, I'm also interested in what you have to say too, Cavalog, because you're on the ground. You're on the fucking ground. That's kind of overall accepted story. It's ultimately just a Masonic flag design that most counties have, but the lore given is the unity between both people. The real Irish flag is a green flag with a harp. The tricolor is more of a New Age EU type thing, if I really boiled it down and skipped a lot of context. To my understanding, it was considered to be a flag of war. Um, that like that tricolor, and then it just became what it was. I always thought the harp was cooler. It's more direct to Ireland, the harp of Erin. That's it's such a it's a beautiful thing. It celebrates the culture as opposed to the Irish tricolor. It's like, the Irish tricolor is just what it is. I think the history behind it is really cool. um but I do think the harp of Erin is, Erin's harp is definitely a better flag. um we was T-shocks and shit. We was T-shocks and shit. um we exported ourselves to fight on practically all fronts throughout time. That's one thing they can't take from us. Oh yeah, that's where you get that's where we get the fighting Irish from. What was I gonna say? Over half of Medal of Honor winners in American history are Irish. Um, which is a crazy thing. Um, Kava's writing a fucking book, of course. Um, don't go to Dublin. Stay outside cities. Even Cork, where I'm from, the city itself is a hellhole. Only a few minutes outside the city. It's heaven though. So you do still have the run of the land touring. Yeah, I want to go to Knockaderry, which is in southern Limerick. I'd go to Limerick or Garryowen or something like that. I'd gladly go there, but I know that I'm probably gonna fight somebody. Like there's probably gonna be some kind of argument that I get into, because that's the thing, is like the urban Irish leftist is like, they don't like Americans. So I'm probably gonna bump into somebody, and not even because I bump into somebody, but because like I'm gonna make an offhand comment. I'm getting kind of bold in public, aren't I? Aren't I getting kind of bold in public lately, baby? I'm kind of saying some stuff that I shouldn't always say all the time. That's because I'm just so sick and tired of dealing with it. I'm like kind of cracking a little bit. Like, imagine I go to Ireland and like I'm hyping it up. I'm like, oh baby, it's gonna be so great. Like it's gonna be beautiful. Ireland's such a beautiful country. There's so much history. I can't wait to see where my ancestors came from, blah blah blah. We hop off the plane and some fucking Somalian is like, you need to dress your woman. You need to dress your woman better. She is dressed like a common whore. I would pimp her out if I was like. Imagine like I'm gonna call him a name, and not only am I gonna have to deal with him, I'm gonna have to deal with some shit lib Irish like, hey, go back to America. We don't want you here. We don't want you here. You're the problem. You're the problem. I'm gonna have to deal with some fucking asshole trying to scold me, and at that point, I'm not gonna let him scold. It's gonna be like, yo, you want to throw hands? It's like, fuck, man. You know, I would not be able to deal with that. It would be too much for me. I can't deal with Walmart anymore. I want to start swinging on people in Walmart. Imagine I go to Ireland and that ends up being a letdown. Fucking forget about it, you know? I'd get deported and I'd never be allowed to come back, you know? Um, um, oh, geez. I gotta get out of here in a second, but we're having such good conversations about it. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. James Joyce is an author, supposedly the best in the 20th century. He wrote the book Ulysses, which is about an Irish Jew written like he was on crack before it was a thing. Damn, that's crazy. Brendan Behan is a better author, to be honest, and more legit as far as the Irish shit. Interesting. Uh, that feel when Scott takes the genetic test and comes back 100% Somalian and has to punch himself when he goes to Ireland. Nah, get out, me. Nah, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna ask for asylum is what I'm gonna do. I gave Eric and Charles and Brandon and all of them a bunch of shit for recently going to Dublin, and they had a trash experience, and it was exactly as I expected. LMAO. Oh man, did you meet up with them when they were in Ireland? One thing I would like to do, like if I all of a sudden didn't have to worry about work and my job and stuff like that, and I just had the money to not give a shit, I'd hit up Brandon and I'd be like, yo, dude, I got some shit we gotta do. One, we gotta go to Ireland, we gotta tour the north, we gotta see the murals, we gotta find the sign in Armagh, the fucking Amen right sign. I'm pretty sure it was in Armagh. We gotta talk to anybody that will allow us to talk to them on both sides, because why wouldn't we talk to the UVF too? Because fucking like that's a really interesting stories there, you know? Those are all videos Brandon could make. And I'm not saying like I don't want him to make them without me, but like I would love to be able to go out there with him if he ever had an interest in making those. And I would love to like help him in whatever way that I could, you know? Um, Specifically with certain other videos that I had in mind too. But like the idea would be we hop from Ireland to like Britain and like we do some videos there and stuff like that. That would be a really cool, really fun experience that if I could just hit up Brandon has asked me to do videos with him before. He literally I talked to him about something, I forget what. I think it might have been around the time that he announced that he was going to have a child. Um, and he told me he wanted me to come to fucking Israel with him to fucking oh no, it wasn't. He said he was gonna go document what was going on with the war in the Middle East, and he was like, dude, come with me. And I was like, I'm afraid to fly, let alone fly to a fucking war zone. I don't know if I can do that. And I just didn't go with him, you know. That was funny when he was like, yo, dude, you should come with me. But like, if there was one thing I'd do is I would definitely go with him to Ireland if I had the ability to, if I could find the time, the energy, the money, you know. That would be fun if we spent like a couple of weeks out in Ireland, Britain, and then we came back, you know. I could if we could cover the old if we could cover Celtic Rangers, if we could if we could cover the Celtic Rangers rivalry, specifically from the hooligan firms, from the support clubs, I'd really like to do that. That'd be fun, You know, I could really help him with that because I know how to move around in a crowd like that. You know, I'm familiar with it. That's what we used to do. That's basically what we used to do. Was the closest thing to hooligan shit that you can get in America. We were basically the closest thing to an American hooligan firm that you could find. You know, which is to say we were 10 miles away or more from what a hooligan firm actually is, right? But like we modeled ourselves after European hooligan firms and metapolitical organizations. And the thing is, the hooligan firms over there, they all have a political bent to them for the most part. You know, that's the thing that pisses me off about Celtic is that they're left wing social justice motherfuckers. They're assholes like that. But then the Rangers, even though they're fucking, even though they're like British patriots and shit like that, and they don't like Ireland and all that other shit and blah blah blah. They're like really pro-Israel. So it's like there's no good side to fucking support. I can't throw my hat in on one of them and LARP is like a Rangers or a fucking Celtic guy. You know? It's like, oh fuck, that sucks, man. But anyway, we are inundated with Africans and Indians who are getting popularity and support for telling us how we're meant to be and what to do in our own country, and our own politicians are supporting them. Yeah, that's the worst part is all you can do is ignore it. That's the worst part. As much as it sucks, if there's some guy who's trying to put hands on a little girl, it's like, yeah, you stop that. You put a stop to that. And by put a stop to that, I mean you call the police is what you do. Of course, that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Um, right. But other than that, it's like when somebody is on your fucking television and they're like, "You are a bad man because you were born white. Me as a black man, I was underprivileged, and because of this, you owe me all of the euro." Like, you just changed the channel, you know? Fucking that's the only thing you can do, and it sucks, you know? Um, he said they were from Avellino. Says hi, Ecuador. Oh yeah, Tony Soprano's people from the show are from Avellino. Yeah. I was watching episode 1 of The Sopranos, and he said, "Oh, my family came from Avellino," and I turned to my wife and I was like, "Oh, that's where my family came from. We were Tony Soprano. We was Sopranos, baby. We was Sopranos." If you want to shut the light off, you can, baby. It's cool. Fucking, I'm gonna get off soon. It's just like we're having a really good conversation. I don't want to like cut it short. She's literally just asleep right now. I'm talking to an unconscious woman. Um. Anyway, I'm catching up with everything. I'm fucking catching up with everything. Um. They aren't required to assimilate. They are given local government jobs immediately. Nigerians and Pakistanis are running our local governments. Yes, that is also a very difficult thing, you know. The fortunate thing for you guys is that your war of independence and then your sectarian conflict is only 100 years old or less. So you have the social infrastructure and the social capital to be able to resist it in a real way. You know, like you could learn something from the troubles, and I'm not saying violent things. I am not saying violent things, of course not, but you can learn that group cohesion, that looking out for each other. And I've seen more of that from Ireland than I have anywhere else in Europe, and even in some places in America, most places in America, truthfully, you know. I've seen that you guys are a little bit quicker to jump up and wag fingers and scold people when they're doing something wrong in that way. You know, give them firm handshakes, pats on the back, and other stuff like that. I've seen you guys are a lot more willing to do that kind of thing, and that is overall a good thing for you guys. You know, what's going on, Matua? Um, Sinead was more like a woo health nut who was super duper left wing, sang the Irish national anthem like a reggae song. Oh yeah. She sang Oro Shedo Vahawalia like it was a fucking reggae song, and that was the worst. That was the worst fucking thing. That was terrible. Like I like different versions of Irish songs and stuff like that, but you know, fucking that was just a really bad. Shane McGowan doesn't sound like that at all. He sounded like that to me, High Ecuador. I don't know. Maybe, maybe I don't. Maybe I misjudged him. Maybe I haven't heard enough of his voice. Or maybe I got him confused with somebody else. There's a good chance I did that, but um, it is what it is. Ulysses is amazing if you want to read a book that sounds like someone was on 10 grams of mushrooms the whole time they wrote it. There's a lot of cool shit in there, but I prefer Dubliners. That's funny as hell. Um, we had a flag. They gave us another during a specific time, and we adopted it. But we'll always have our real flag, and it's becoming way more popular, as well as the Irish Republican flags. That's really good to know, Cavalog. Um, Saoirse Ronan is my favorite Irish actress. Yeah. One thing the Irish do have is a lot of weird fucking names. And a lot of black people in America will take those names. Like I've met a couple of black women named Siobhan. Um, what else? No one named Saoirse. No one named Roshan. Even those ones are too weird for black people. Even black people are like, damn, no, that's some white people shit. Siobhan, yeah. But Saoirse, nah. Fuck that. Um, Dostoevsky was hardcore Orthodox, used to be an atheist in his early life, and a socialist. The Tsar almost had him executed and sent him to Siberia for 10 years. He has a book about the. Um, you didn't finish your sentence, High Ecuador. So I don't know what you. Oh, camps in Siberia called House of the Dead, which is also amazing. Okay, all right. Um, I Irish scolding is an ancient traditions, to be honest. Yeah, but there's a difference between getting scolded because you're genuinely doing something wrong and getting scolded by someone who's your age or younger than you, trying to tell you go back to America, go back. We don't want you here. It's you. You're the problem. It's like shut the fuck up. I love the weird Irish names. I like those uncommon names. Balkan women have black names too. Do Balkan women have black names, or do black women have Balkan names? That's like when you have some black dude with the last name McGee. It's like that's not exactly the most Zulu name that you could have ever had. Um, I'm trying not to be hyperbolic, but there's a cloud hanging over the entire country that makes both groups of people unsettled. Those who know and are willing for what's inevitably coming, and those whose MO is to ignore everything and be good sheep. There's a heavy number of both sides, but one's way more willing than the other. Yeah. Fucking, yeah. That's usually how it goes, to my understanding. That most people just want to ignore it and pretend like it's not going to happen until they can't anymore. If I have a son, his name will be Seamus McFitzpatrick O'Flanagan. And no, none of those names are a part of my name. Yes. Fucking Seamus is an interesting name because that's just the Irish for James. Literally, that's just how you would pronounce James in Irish is Seamus, you know. And then Sean is just the Irish pronunciation for John, which is crazy because I've known so many Seans in my life, never thinking that that they're named after John the Apostle. Um, the McGees were the original Zulus. Yes, we was Africans and shit. McGee's is a shop around the corner from me. Dikembe O'Flynn. Yes. Fucking. Uh, U- fucking Uthulu O'Neill. Uh, um, fucking Umdambe Murphy. But yeah, I should get out of here. Borges. What do you mean by Borges, Zach? What do you mean by Borges, Zach? Borges is a Portuguese name, isn't it? Or I don't know. Do you find it in Do you find it in the Balkans as well? Because like the last name Alves is found in Scotland and Portugal. You know, I don't think there's an actual relation between the two last names. Maybe there is to some degree, but you can find Alves in Scotland apparently, and you also find it in Portugal. You know, but anyway, I'm going to head out. All right. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. You know, low key stream, not too much going on, but I had a good time, especially that last hour and a half. You know, I'm glad I stuck around. That was a good that was a good that was a good conversation. Um, I am gonna hit that dusty trail. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, Snurf G says, "Christ be with you." Are you balding? Yeah, I definitely am. My hair is thinner around here, and I think I've pretty much, for the most part, had the same hairline for a long time. Maybe it's receded a little bit in the front, but like I look at pictures of myself from a while ago, and I have roughly the same hairline. If it's not the same, it's receded a little bit comparatively. But yeah, I'm definitely balding a little bit. I'm definitely balding a little bit. Jamal Don Levy, Jamal Downey, Jamal Downey. Anyway, that's Jimmy's real name is Jamal Downey. But yeah, I'm gonna head out for the third time. Thank you guys so much for being here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow. I usually would, but I have some stuff going on. I will try my best. I'll try my best. If not, maybe I'll be able to stream Sunday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. Indeed we will. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right. And peace out.